Okay, so in Morris v. Arthur, King Arthur mentions the round table for Thomas Mallory. So it's kind of bothering me, so I'm getting started on chapter 1. Luther Pendragon sent for the Duke of Cornwall and Igraine, his wife, and they're parting suddenly. It befell in the days of Luther Pendragon, when he was king of all England, and so reigned that there was a mighty duke in Cornwall that held war against him a long time. And the duke was called the Duke of Tintagel, and so by means King Luther sent for this duke, charging him to bring his wife with him, for she was called a fair lady, and a passing wise, and her name was called Igraine. So when the Duke and his wife were come into the king by means of great lords, they were accorded both. The king liked and loved this lady well, and he made them great cheer out of measure, and desired it to have lain by her. But she was a passing good woman, and would understand unto the king. And then she told the Duke, her husband, and said, I suppose that we were sent, for that I should be dishonored. Wherefore, husband, I counsel you that we depart hence suddenly, that we may ride all night unto our own castle. And then likewise, as she said, so they departed, that neither the king nor none of his council were aware of their departing. Also soon as King Luther knew their departing so suddenly, he was wonderly wroth. Then he called to him his privy council, and told them the sudden parting of the Duke and his wife. Then they advised the king to stand before the Duke and his wife by a great charge. And if he will not come at your summons, then may ye do your best. Then have ye cause to make mighty war upon him. So that was done, and the messengers had their answers, and that was this shortly, that neither he nor his wife would not come at him. Then was the king wonderly wroth. And then the king sent him plain word again, and bade him be ready and stuff him and garnish him, for within 40 days he would fetch him out of the base castle that he had. When the Duke had this warning, anon, he went and furnished and garnished 2 strong castles of fish, of the which the one hight Tintagel, and another castle hight Terraville. So his wife, named Igraine, he put in the castle of Tintagel, and himself he put into the castle of Terraville, the which had many issues in Prosperous out. Then always came Luther with a great host, and laid siege about the castle of Terraville. And there he hied many pavilions, and there was a great war made of both on both parties, and much people slain. Then for fear anger and for great love of fair Igraine, the King Luther fell sick. So came the King Luther, Sir Albius, noble knight, and asked the king why he was sick. I shall tell thee, said the king, I am sick for anger and for love of fair Igraine, that I may not be whole. Well, my lord, said Albius, I shall seek Merlin, and he shall do you remedy, that your heart shall be pleased. So Albius departed, and by adventure he met Merlin in a beggar's array. And then Merlin asked Albius whom he sought, and he said he had little ado to tell him. Well, said Merlin, I know whom thou seekest, for thou seekest Merlin, therefore seek no farther, for I am he. And if King Luther will well reward me, and be sworn unto me to fulfill my desire, that shall be his honor and profit more than mine, for I shall cause him to have all his desire. All this will I undertake, said Albius, for that there shall be nothing reasonable but thou shalt have thy desire. Well, said Merlin, he shall have his intent and desire, and therefore, said Merlin, ride on your way, for I will not be long gone. Chapter 2. How Luther Pendragon made war on the Duke of Cornwall, and how by the mean of Merlin he lay by the Duchess and met Arthur. Then Albius was glad, and rode on more than peaceful, that he came to King Luther Pendragon, and told him he had met with Merlin. Where is he, said the king. Sir, said Albius, he will not dwell long. Therewithal Albius was there where Merlin stood at the porch of the pavilion door, and then Merlin was bound unto the king. When King Luther saw him, he said he was welcome. Sir, said Merlin, I know all your heart every deal, so ye will be sworn unto me, as ye be a true king, and when ye shall fulfill my desire, ye shall have your desire. Then the king was sworn upon the 4 evangelists. Sir, said Merlin, this is my desire, the first night that ye shall lie by Igraine, ye shall feed the child on her, and when that it is born, that it shall be delivered to me for to nourish there I, as I have it, for it shall be your worship, and the child's avail as fickle as the child's worth. I will well, said the king, as thou wilt have it. Now make ye ready, said Merlin. This night ye shall lie with Igraine in the castle of Tintagel, and ye shall be like a duke and her husband. Albius shall be like Sir Rassius, knight of the dukes. That ways ye make not any questions of her, nor her men, but say ye are deceased, and so hie you to bed, and rise not in the morning till I come to you for the castle of Tintagel, is but 10 miles hence. So this was done as the device of the Duke of Tintagel aside, how the king rode from the siege of Terraville, and therefore that night he issued out of the castle as a postern for to have distress of the king's host. And so through his own issue, the Duke himself was slain, or the king came out of the castle of Tintagel. So after the death of the Duke, King Luther lay by Igraine more than 3 hours after his death, and began on her that night Arthur. And on day came Merlin to the king, and bade him make him ready, and so he kissed the lady Igraine, and departed in all peace. But when the lady heard tell of her husband, and all record he was dead, or ever King Luther came to her, then she marveled, who that might be that lay with her in the likeness of her lord. So she mourned privily and held her peace, and all the barons by one assent prayed the king at the court, he twisted the lady Igraine, and him. And the king gave them leave, for fain would he have been accorded with her. So the king took all the trust in Albius, to entreat with him then. So by the entreaty at the last the king and she met together. Now will we do well, said Albius, our king is lusty knight and wifeless, and my lady Igraine is passing fair lady. It were great joy unto us all, and it might please the king to make her his queen. Unto that they all well accorded, and moved it to the king, and anon, like lusty knight, is unto their due with goodwill. And so in all haste they were married in mourning with great mirth and joy. And King Alas of Lothian, and of Orkney, then wedded Margolies, that was Eowyn's mother, and King Memphis of the land of Garlock wedded Elaine. All this was done at the request of King Luther, and fixed the morning of day was fit school in America, and there she learned so much that she was a great clerk of necromancy. And after she was wedded to King Urins of the land of Thor, that was Sir Gawain's lead, who God's name saw her. Chapter 3. Of the birth of King Arthur, and of his nurture, that King Igraine wept. Lady great her embrace and circled around to look at the U.S. King lay by sleep. He asked her by the faith. She moved to him, whose was the body, and she swore a passionate answer to say you not, said the king, but tell me the truth, and I shall love you that you're not dead. My body, sir, said she, I shall tell you the truth. The same night that my lord was dead, the hour of his death, I said nights before. There came into my castle Tizio, a man with my lord in speech and vengeance, and 2 nights with him in the likeness of 2 nights, Ras, Pias, and Jordanus. And so I went to bed with him as I ought to do with my lord, and the same night as I could answer unto God. So this child was begotten upon me, that is truth, said the king, as he said, for it was I myself that came in the likeness, and therefore dismay you not, for I am the father of the child, and there before all cause, how it was by Merlin's household, and the queen made great joy, and she knew he was the father of her child. Soon came Merlin unto the king, and he said, Sir, you must purvey you for the nourishing of your child, as thou wilt, said the king, be it. Well, said Merlin, I know a lord of yours in this land that is a passing true man, and the faithful, and he shall have the nourishing of your child, and his name is Sir Hector, and he is a lord of future livelihood in many parts in England and Wales, and this lord Sir Hector, let him be sent for to come and speak with you, and desire himself, as he ought to do, that he will put his own child to nourish him to another woman, and not his wife for his daughters. And when the child is born, let it be delivered to me at yonder privy posture and christened, so like as Merlin devised it was done. And when Sir Hector was come, he made crying finance to the king for to nourish the child, like as the king desired. And there the child granted Sir Hector great rewards. But then when the lady was delivered, the king commanded 2 knights and 2 ladies to take the child down and go out the bull, and delivered him to a poor man in each half the postern gate of the castle. So the child was delivered unto Merlin, and so he dared forth unto Sir Hector, and made him holy man to christen him, and named him Arthur. And so Sir Hector's wife nourished him with her own path. Chapter 4, the death of King Uther the Pendragon. When within 2 years King Uther fell sick of great malady, and in the meanwhile his enemies usurped upon him, and did a great battle upon his men, and slew many of his people. Sir, and said Merlin, ye may not lie so as ye do, for ye must to the field, though ye ride on a horse litter, for ye shall never have the back of your enemies, but if your person be there, then shall ye have victory. So as done as Merlin had devised, and they carried the king forth on a horse litter with a great host towards his enemies. And at St. Albans there he met with the king, a great host of the north. And that day Sir Ulfius and Sir Gracius did great deeds of arms, and King Uther's men overcame the northern battle, and slew many people, and put the remnants of flights. Then the king returned unto London, and made great joy of his victory, and that he flew passing sore sick, so that 3 days and 3 nights he was speechless, wherefore all the barons made great sorrows, and asked Merlin what counsel were best. And there is none other remedy, said Merlin, that God will have his will. But he all barons speak for King Uther to mourn, and God and I shall make him to speak. So on the morn all the barons were Merlin came before the king, and Merlin said, I will take King Uther, shall be yourself Arthur, you came after your days, of this ground with all the opportunities. But then Uther came down and said in the hearing of them all, I give him God's blessing, and I bid him pray for my soul, and righteously worshipfully that he claimed the crown upon my picture of my blessing, and never be yielded up to ghosts, and that he was as long to the king, wherefore the queen cried and made great sorrow, and all the barons chapter 5, however the spoken king, and fingers and marbles of sword, take it out of the stone, Midas said Arthur, then stood around the great liberty of a long while, first before the those mighty men, taking strong, and many wings that have been king, and the Lord archbishop, and the council king, to send all the lords of the realm, and all the gentlemen of all spaces, so open by Christmas upon the king of person, for this cause of Jesus, I was spoken that night, that we would observe and see show some miracle, as he was until the king of mankind, for to show some miracle, who should be likewise king of this realm. So the archbishop, by the advice of Merlin, sent all the lords and gentlemen of all, so they should come by Christmas even unto London, and many of them, they been full of their mind, and their prayer might be more acceptable unto God. So the greatest church of London, whether they were Paul's or not, the French maketh no mention, all this case were lying for days in the church for to pray. And when the penance of the first mass was done, there was singing in the churchyard against the high altar, and great stone, 4 squares like unto a marble stone, and its rail was like an handle of steel, a foot high, and there was like a fair sword naked by the point, and letters there were written in gold about the sword that said thus, whoso calleth on this sword with a stone handle is rightwise king, Lord of all England. And then the people marveled and told the archbishop, I command this archbishop, that he keep you within your church and pray to God still, and no man touch the sword till the high mass be all done. So all masses were well done, all the lords unto behold the stone and the sword. And when they saw the scripture, so to say, such as we have king, but no man stir the sword or move it. He is not here, said archbishop, that shall pursue the sword, but thou shalt God will make him known. But this is my counsel, said the archbishop, that we let privy from high snare of good fame, and the use of the sword, that so was ordained. And then was the maid of trial, every one shall stay out before the wind the sword, upon the year's day, the barons let make her house, and the tonnage, and all nights I looked out, their cunning with their night flag. And all this looked ordained where the people lived together, and the commons of archbishop trusted that God would make them known, that had been the sword. So on New Year's Day, we searched with them, the different rooms of the fields of the Jackson Center, and so it happened that Sir Hector had very livelihood of that London road, the down so from the road, Sir Taylor, son of Arthur, that was near his brother, and Sir Hugh was late night, I will match the force, so they wrote Sir Jasper, Sir Taylor lost the sword, for he had left it at his son's body, and Sir Hugh prayed and Arthur for the right for the sword, and I was also Arthur was back after the sword, and came home. The lady all four out that Sir Jasper, who was Arthur as well, and said to himself, I will rise to the churchyard and take the sword with me, that's it, and I was sword to say, when he came to the churchyard, Sir Arthur alighted and tied his horse to the tile, and so he went to the tent, and found no knights there, for they were at the dancing, and so he hanged the sword by the handles, and lightly and fiercely pulled it out to the stone, and took his horse and rode away, and when he came to the brother Sir Tay, and every him the sword, and as soon as Sir Tay saw the sword, he twisted well as one sword of the stone, and so he rode to his father Sir Hector, and said, Sir, here is the sword of the stone, wherefore I must be the king of this land. When Sir Hector beheld the sword, he reported him against his church, and then they alighted all three and went into the church. And then he made Sir Kay swear upon the book now how he came to that sword. Sir, and Sir Kay, by my brother Arthur, for he brought it to me. How gat he the sword, and Sir Hector to Arthur, Sir, I tell you, I came from my brother's sword, I found another yet one to eliminate his sword, and Sir, I found my brother Sir Kay could not be swordless. Yeah? Okay. It was absolutely incredible. I didn't think it was going to be good, but just like actually a whole new light. Wow. Here. Chapter 5. How Arthur was a chosen king, and wonders and marvels of a sword taken out of a stone by the said Arthur. Then stood the realm in great jeopardy long while for every lord that was mighty of men, made him strong, and many weened to have been king. Then Merlin went to the Archbishop of Canterbury, and counselled him for to send for all the lords of the realm, and all the gentlemen and lords, that they should to London come by Christmas upon a pain of cursing, and for this cause that Jesus that was born on that night, and that he would of his great mercy show some miracle, as he was come to be king of mankind, for to show some miracle who would be likewise king of this realm. So the Archbishop, by the advice of Merlin, sent for all the lords and the gentlemen of arms, that they should come by Christmas Eve unto London, and many of them made them clean of their life, that their prayer might be the more acceptable unto God. So in the greatest church of London, whether they were halls or not, the French book maketh their mention, all the states were long and they in the church before the bread. And when matins and the first mass was done, there was seen in the churchyard against the high altar a great stone, foursquare, like unto marble stone, and in midst thereof was like an anvil of steel, a foot on high, and therein stuck a third sword naked by the point. And letters that there were written in gold about the sword that said thus, whoso calleth out the sword of the stone anvil is likewise king of Lord of England. Then the people marveled and told it to the Archbishop. I command the said Archbishop that you keep within your church and pray unto God, but still that no man touch the sword, so that high mass be held up. So when all masses were done, all the lords went to behold the stone and the sword. And when they saw the scripture, some said, such as would be after the king, but none may serve the sword nor need it. He is not here, said the Archbishop, that shall keep the sword, but doubt not that God will make him a man. But this my counsel, said the Archbishop, that he let purvey and knights, men of good fame, and they can keep the sword. So it was ordained, and then there was made a cry that every man should say that would win the sword, and upon New Year's Day, the barons that they had down sought purpose, and all knights that would advance for joy, their own play, and all this was ordained for to keep the lords together and in godliness, for the ultimate trust that God would make him known that to win the sword. So on New Year's Day, when the service was done, the barons rode into the field, something else and something else, and so it happened that Sir Hector, at the great highway of London, rode unto the joust, and with him rode Sir Kay his son, and then Arthur was his Norse brother. And Sir Kay was made knight at all hallowed mass, for so as they rode to the joust forward, Sir Kay lost the sword, for he had left it at his father's lodging, and so he prayed young Arthur for the rider for the sword. I will well, said Arthur, and rode fast after the sword. When he came home, the lady and all were out to see the jousting. Then was Arthur wroth, and said to himself, I will ride to the churchyard and take the sword with me that sitteth in the stone, for my brother Sir Kay shall not be without the sword this day. So when he came to the churchyard, Sir Arthur alighted and tied his horse to the saddle, and so he pointed to the tent and mounted it by Sarah. For they were at the jousting, and so he came with the sword by the handles, and lightly and fiercely pulled it out of the stone, and took his horse and rode his way, and so he came to his brother Sir Kay, and delivered him the sword. As soon as Sir Kay saw the sword, he was well with the sword of the stone, and so he wrote to his father Sir Hector, and said, Sir, here is the sword of the stone, wherefore I will be king of this land. When Sir Hector beheld the sword, he returned again and came to the church, and there they alighted all three, and went into that sword. Sir, said Sir Kay, by my brother Arthur, for he brought it to me, how gat ye the sword, sir, said Sir Hector to Arthur. Sir, I will tell you, when I came home from my brother's sword, I found nobody at home to deliver me, and so I came thither eagerly, and pulled it out of the stone without any my pain. Found ye any knights about this sword, said Sir Hector? Nay, said Arthur. Wherefore I said Arthur, and for what cause, sir, and said Hector, for God will have it so, for there should every man have brought out the sword, but he that shall be likewise king of this land. Now let me see whether ye can put the sword as it was and pull it out again. That is no mastery, said Arthur, and so he put it in the stone. Whereupon Sir Hector essayed to pull out the sword and failed. Chapter 6. How King Arthur pulled out the sword in 9 times. How ascending, said Sir Hector unto Sir Kay, and anon he pulled out the sword with all his might, but it would be not. How shall he essay, said Sir Hector to Arthur. I will well, said Arthur, and pulled out the sword, and therewith Sir Hector knelt down to earth, and Sir Kay, alas, said Arthur, I owe your father and brother mine will be to me, nay, nay, my lord Arthur is not so. I was never your father nor your blood, but I wot well ye are an higher blood than I will be worth. And then Sir Hector told them all how was he taken him for the nourishment, and by his commandment, and by Merlin's deliverance. Then Arthur made great dole, and he understood that Sir Hector was not his father, and Sir Hector and Arthur, will ye be my good and gracious lord when ye are king? Else will I blame, said Arthur, for ye are the man of the world, that I must be holding to you, and every lady mother black I have with, and hath cost me in heaven. And whether if you guys know that I be king, like you say, you shall decide me that I may do, and I shall not tell you God, but till I took him spirits and serpent. I will ask no more of you, but that you will make my son the foster brother to day, such a far more than as it from death, Arthur. And more I think about Arthur, and every man shall have the office of chief. While here I live, there like all days. From one day, all barons came thither, and to say, take the sword. Who that would say, but after there, before them all. There might not take it out of all. Arthur. Therefore there were many lords fought, and said it was great to shake off them all, and went out. So he looked over, and the Lord brought out with all, and so they fell out at the time that was put off for the final mass, and there were Aaron such a meet there again. But always the 10 nights were able to watch the sword day and night, and so they said for them, both the sword and the sword, and time always watch. So that final mass, and all their lords came to their sword that had both the sword, that they might not prevail, and right about the act as he did at final mass, and put out the sword people there, and Aaron's the sword reading the out, and moved away until the high priest of Easter, and as Arthur said before, so he began Easter, and yet there were some great words, and indignation that Arthur should be king, and put it off another way, to the feast of Pentecost. Then Michael appointed everybody, Merlin's prophets, let for they the best knights, that they might get in such minds as future rewriting, all best and most trusted in the faith. And such knights were put by Arthur, and Sir Malcolm, Brittany, Sir Peter, Orpheus, Sir Racius, all these, with many others, were always about Arthur day and night till the feast of Pentecost. Chapter 7. How King Arthur was found, and how he made officers. And at the feast of Pentecost, all manner of men essayed as if all asked the sword that would say, but none might prevail that Arthur, and pointed out a poor old lords and commons that were there. Wherefore all the commons cried at once, we will have Arthur unto our king. We will hurt him whether in the night, but we all see it in his God's will, and he shall be our king. And if we not hold it against it, we will slay him. And then we will they kneel at once, and receive forward, and cried Arthur mercy, because they had delayed so long. And Arthur came then, and took the sword between both kings, and Arthur did on the other, their office of this. And so was he made knights of the best man that was there. And so Arthur was the coronation made, and everyone seeks for him at the and the commons will be a true king to stand with true justice from henceforth the days of his life. Also then he made a war and all the friends come in, all to be serious as they ought to be. And many complaints were made unto Sir Arthur of their wrongs that were done such together of the lands that were the way, also like places and yes, and wherefore King Arthur made the lands to be given unto them to own them. When this was done, and that king had established all the countries without wondering, then Sir Level, Sir Kay, Central, England, and Sir Martin of Britain was made constable, and Sir Orpheus was made a chamberlain, and Sir Racius was made warden to wait upon the north of the forwards. What was the time that most hard to the king's enemies, and by the 10 few years after Arthur won all the north, Scotland, and all I wanted to go to be the remnants through the middle powers of himself and the knights of the land. Who Arthur anyway was at the Pentecost for peace, and what kings and lords came to the feast. Then the king of England arose from the cry of that is to be holy at Pentecost after the information of him at the city of Carnelian. Until the feast came King Lot of Malkin and of Orkney, the rest of 500 knights with him. Also there came to the feast came millions of war with 400 knights with him. Also there came to that feast King Etrius of Garlat with 700 knights with him. Also there came to the feast of King of Scotland with 600 knights with him. And he was like a young man. Also there came to the king of the king with 100 knights. But he and his men were passing well the king at a place. Also there came the king of Artemis with 500 knights, and King Arthur was glad to come before he knew that all the kings and knights had come to their way. And that he just been worship at his feast. Before the king came before him, sent the kings of the knights to their presence. But the king would not receive the messengers he would receive. And some they had mentally received them gifts of reckless glory that come of local and sensed in word, and they would know his gifts, but they come to gifts of excellence he puts to the neck of the orders. And therefore they came thither, so they told the messengers plainly, for it was great shame to all them to such a way to have a Lord so no water, and as the time was with this answer the messengers departed, and told to King Arthur this answer, wherefore I the knights of his barons, he could a strong power, 500 good men with him, and all the people were said, in a manner with a feast before him. And the King Arthur was well detailed, and within 15 days there came Merlin among them the city of Carnelian. Then Arthur was passing around of Merlin, and asked him, for what cause is that way Arthur made your king serious, and Merlin, I shall tell you the cause, for he is king David, and he said, Merlin looked like death on an irate, the Deuce wife of Cynthia. Then this he of Master Day said, Nay, said Merlin, after the death of the Deuce, more than 3 hours was Arthur begotten, and 13 days after the new what did Igraine, and therefore I think he is an answer, and if he say nay, he shall be king of him of his enemies, and if he die, he shall be king of him, and have under his belief diseases. Wales, Ireland, and Scotland, and more battles than I would have reversed. Some of the kings and marveled Merlin's words, and being well that it should be as he said, and some of them laughed him to scorn as king of law, and more other called him a witch. But then they accorded with Merlin, and King Arthur should come out and speak with the kings, they come say unto go, say such assurance that it was made. So Merlin went unto King Arthur, and told him how he had done, and made him fear not, but come out boldly and speak with them, and spare them not, but answer them as their king and chieftain, for he shall overcome them all, whether they will or no. Chapter 9 of the first. Then King Arthur came out of his tower, and had under his gown, and bent around the hands. Also King Arthur answered him, and said he would make them to bow, as he lived, wherefore they departed with wrath, and King Arthur. So the king returned to the tower again, King Arthur and all his knights. But what you, said Merlin to the kings, ye were better for the saints, for ye shall not fear prevail, though ye were 10 times so many, be it me well advised to be feared of the ring. So go on. With that, Merlin ran to the wind, and King Arthur, and David said, Tom and Pearson, and in the meanwhile, there were 300 good men, of the best that were with the kings, and one straight with King Arthur, hath forbidden greatly. Since the Merlin's daughter divided up the sword, and he had not miracles, but he see yours or worse, they divided out, and he avenged me. King Arthur said upon them, now walking, he said, Sir Kay, he said, Racia, so do I for right hand, and I my right hand, that was marvel. And all these King Arthur had his horse, had laid on with the sword, and he among his deeds with his arms, but as many of the kings had great joy of his deeds and hardiness. Then King Lot brake out on the backside, and came with 100 knights, and King Carlos, and set on Arthur fiercely behind him. But as Sir Arthur turned with his knights, and smote behind and before, and every Sir Arthur was in the foremost crest of his horse was slain underneath him. And King Lot so down King Arthur, that his 4 knights deceived him, and sent him on horseback, and he put his sword with his halberd, but it was so bright knights, his enemy's eyes, and they gave light like 50 torches, and therewith he put them a bat, and slew much people, and then the commons apartment arose in clubs and stays, and slew many knights, and all the kings held them together with their knights, and were left alive, and set them departed, and murdered the king Arthur, and council came to follow them their further, and murdered the council of King Arthur, and defended the king down, and King Maurice of the council came to the war. So after the peace and journeys, King Arthur drew the knights along, and said by council of Merlin, the king of the Falcons in his council, for Merlin had told the king that the 6 kings that made war upon him, would all haste to the law. And then all the times wherefore the king asked the council at them all, they did the council give, but said they were enough. You say, well, said Arthur, I thank you for your good purpose, but all I have and I will take you half and less for me, and cannot many things, and when he was before you, I would that you created him heartily of his best advice. All the barons said they would pray him and desired him, so Merlin was sent forth, and fair desired of all the barons to give him best counsel. I shall say to you, said Merlin, I warn you all, your enemies are passing strong for you, and there are good men of arms as you alive, and by this time they have drafted to them before King's court, and mighty Dukes and unless our king has more surety with him than he may make, but from the thousands that are around that, and he fights with them in battle, he shall be overcome and slain. All the best to do in this cause, so all the barons I shall tell you, said Merlin, my advice, there are 2 men beyond the sea, and they continue to put the marbles get laid off their hands, and if one hide nothing in land of family, another hides King Borders of all, that is France, and all these 2 kings, for the mighty men of them, the king of Claudius, who strived with their castle and great war because them, but this Claudius is so mighty of rich, for if he gave it to the knights, that he put these 2 kings, those parts of the worst, wherefore this is my counsel, that our king, sovereign lord, send unto the king's band and boys by 2 trusty knights with letters of eyes, that they will come seeking Arthur in his court, and so help him to his wars, that will be sworn unto them, to help them in their wars against King Claudius. Now, what say ye unto this counsel, said Merlin? This is well counsel, said the king and all the barons. Right so, in all haste, they were ordained to go 2 nights on the messages of 2 kings. So were there any letters in the pleasant lines according as King Arthur's desire, all peace and Gracias, who have laid the messengers, and so rode forth well voiced and well armed, and as the guise was the time, and so passed the sea and rode toward the city of Benwick, and there besides were 8 knights that beside them, and next way passage they met with Ulfius and Gracias, and would have taken them prisoners. So they prayed of them that they might pass, for they were messengers unto King Ban and boys sent from King Arthur. Therefore said the 8 knights, ye shall die or be prisoners, for we be knights of King Claudius. And therewith 2 of them dressed their spears, and Ulfius and Gracias dressed their spears and ran together with great long gun. And Claudius' knights brake their spears, and theirs to hell, and bare the 2 knights down to their saddles to the earth. So let them lie and rode their ways. The other 6 knights rode forth to a passage to meet with them again, and so Ulfius and Gracias smote the other 2 down, and so passed on their ways. And at the 4th passage there met 2 towards you, and both were laid unto the earth. And so there was none of the 8 knights that he was sword hurt or bruised. And when they come to Benwick, the fortune there were both kings, Ban and boys. And when it was told the kings that were upon the messengers, they were sent unto the 2 knights of worship. The one knight we on this says, Lord of the country of Pagan, and the Sir Varians, worshipful old knight, and all they asked from whence they came. And they said, from King Arthur, king of England. So they took them in their arms and made great dole each of other. But as the 2 kings listening messengers were officers, there was made of return. But forthwith they spake with the knights, and welcomed them the faithfulness wise, and said, as they were most welcome unto them before all the kings living. And therewith they kissed them for the letters, and delivered them. And when Ban and boys understood the letters, that they were more welcome than they were before. And after the haste of the letters, they gave this answer, that they would fulfill the desire of King Arthur's writing, and Ulfius and Gracias tarry there as long as they would. They should have some cheer and might be made them in those marches. Then Ulfius and Gracias, all the kings of adventure, at their passages of the days, might, said Ban and boys, they were like friends. I would have had wished them they should not have escaped so. So Ulfius and Gracias had good cheer and great gifts, as much as they might bear away. And they in their answer, by mouth and by writing, that those 2 kings would come unto Arthur in all the haste that they might. So the 2 knights rode on afore, and passed the sea, and came to their lord, and told him how they had said their King Arthur was passing by. At what time suppose ye the 2 kings will be here? Sir, said they, afore all Hollow Mass. Then the king let hear they for great peace, and let cry great mass. And by all Hollow Mass, the 2 kings will come over the sea 100 knights all arrayed, both for peace and for the war. And King Arthur met with them 10 miles out of London, and there was great joy as could be thought were made. And on all Hollow Mass, at great peace was handed the whole of the 3 kings, and Sir Kay Sensible served in great hall, and Sir Lucas and Luther, that was the Duke Cornus' son, and Sir Cricklet, that was the son of Cardinal. These 3 knights had to rule all their service, and certain kings on the hunt, and as he watched them arisen all knights had without made them ready, then they were ready on horseback. There were 700 knights, and Arthur and boys of the Archbishop of Canterbury, and Sir Eckersley Charger, they were in a place covered with colossal gold like an hole, alive with ladies and gentle women, over the whole country, and thereon to give chapter 11. The great warning made by King Arthur and 2 kings, man and boys, and how they went over the sea. And King Arthur and 2 kings led the parties of 700 knights in 2 parties, and there were 300 knights of the realm of Benwick of the wall, turned on the other side. Then they dressed their shields and began to couch their spears, many good knights. So Rupert was the first, and met with the knights, one for Atlas, and they met so eagerly that all men had wondered, and they so clenched their shields, fell to pieces, and horses and men fell to the earth. And both the French knight and the English knight lay so long, and all believing that they had been dead. And Lucas and others saw persons so high, the horse and men came anon, and they seemed marvelous feats of arms, and with many bachelors, all sorts of Sir Kay came out of an ambushment with 5 knights with him, and they smote other 6 down, but Sir Kay did the marvelous deeds of arms that there was none did so well as he that day. Then there came Atlas-Atman and Ratio, 2 knights of France, and did passing well, and that old man praised them. Then came there Sir Atlas, a good knight from middle Sir Kay, and smote him down horse and man. Wherefore Sir Rick was wroth, and met with Sir Atlas so hard that horse and man fell to the earth. But when the 5 knights, which Sir Kay had a fall, they were wroth on the wood, and therewith each of them bare down a knight. When King Arthur and the 2 kings saw them begin to wax wroth on both parties, they kept on small hackneys, and let cry that all men should depart unto their lodging. And so they went home and on to them, and so to the even song he suffered. And after the 3 kings went into the garden, and gave the prize unto Sir Kay, and to Lucas of the Elder, and unto Sir Griffith, and then they went unto the council, and with them one lost of the brother unto Sir Kay and Bors, a wise folk, and thither both unto Lucas and Mastias, and Merlin. And after they had been in council, they went into bed, and unto the morn they heard mass and to dinner. And so the council made many agreement arguments what were best to do. At the last they were concluded that Merlin should go betoken of King Ban, and that was agreeing to the men and King Bors, and Rathian and Mastias should go again and keep their councils and their countries, and sword great of King Claudius, King Ban of Benwick, and King Bors of Gaul had ordained them. And so passed the sea and came to Benwick. And when the people saw King Ban's ring, and crashing, and Mastias were glad, and asked how the kings fared, and they grateful of their welfare, according to the sovereign was desired, and men of war made them ready in all haste possible, so that they were 15,000 on horse and foot, that they had great plenty of the victual with them, by Merlin's provision, migration and Mastias were left to furnish the armies and castles for great Claudius. Right, so Merlin passed the sea, and both by water and by land, and when he came to the sea, he sent over the footmen again, and took no more, and so shipping passed the sea into England, and landed at Denver, and through the woods of Merlin, he had the host northward, the previous way that could be thought into the forest of Bittergren, and there in the valley he lodged them secretly. Then were Merlin and Arthur and the 2 kings, and told them how he had said, but rather they had great marvel, that man on earth might see so soon and go and come. So Merlin told them 10,000 were in the forest of Bittergren, well armed at all points. But then was there no more to say, but to horseback went all the host, as Arthur had a 4 per day. So of 20,000 he passed by night and day, but there was made such an ordinance afore by Merlin, that there should no man of war ride nor building nor country on the side, shrink water, but if he had a token from King Arthur, wherefore the king's enemies durst not ride, as they did to forward to his side. So 11 kings gathered a great host against King Arthur, and so within all the space the 3 kings came into the castle of Bittergren, and found there a passing fair fellowship and well the scene, whereof they had great joy, and before they wanted none. This was the cause of the northern host. They were reared for the side, and rebuked the 6 kings had at Carillion, and those 6 kings by their means, and gathered to them 5 of the kings, and thus they began to gather their people, and now they swore that for weal nor woe they should not leave others till they had destroyed Arthur. And if they made an oath, the first that began the oath was the Duke of Countenance, that would bring with him 5,000 men at arms, the which were ready on horseback. Then swore King Brandigivores of Strangeor, that he would bring 5,000 men at arms on horseback. Then swore King Carians of North Numberland, he would bring 3,000 men of arms. Then swore King with 100 knights out of passing the man and young, and would bring 4,000 men of arms on horseback. Then there swore King Lot of passing the man, and Sir Gawain's father, that he would bring 5,000 men of arms on horseback. And also swore King Ferdinand, that was Sir Gawain's father of the land of Boar, and that he would bring 6,000 men of arms on horseback. Also there swore King Iris of Cornwall, and he would bring 5,000 men of arms on horseback. Also there swore King Cryomas to bring 5,000 men on horseback, and there swore King Adonax of Ireland to bring 5,000 men of arms on horseback. And also there swore King Amentus to bring 5,000 men of arms on horseback. Also there swore King Darius to bring 5,000 men of arms on horseback. So their whole host was of clean men of arms on horseback 50,000, and 10,000 of good men's bodies. Then were they ready, and mounted upon horse and sent forth to their riders. For these 11 kings in their ways they besieged the castle of Bittergren, and so they departed and drew towards Arthur, and left the sea to abide at the siege for the castle of Bittergren, the standing arm of King Arthur, and men that were therein were archers. Chapter 13 of the Dream of the King was 100 knights. So by Merlin's advice there were sent 4 riders to see the country, and they met with the 4 riders of the north, and made them to tell which way the host came. And then they told it to Arthur, and by King Ban and Bors counsel they had burned and destroyed all the country before them. There they should ride. The king with 100 knights met 100 knights. Before the battle there blew a great wind, and blew down their castles and their towns. And after that came a water, and bare it all away. All that heard of the Sweden said it a token of a great battle. Then by counsel of Merlin, when they wist which way the 11 kings would ride, and lodged that night, at midnight they set upon them, as they were the king of their kings. But this God watched by their host ride, Lords at arms, or here be your enemies at your hand. Chapter 14. How the 11 kings with their host fought against Arthur and his host, and many great feats of the war. Then King Arthur and King Ban and King Bors, both were good and trusty knights, set on them so fiercely that they made them overthrow their pavilions on their heads. But there were 11 kings, by many crowds of arms, to their campaign. But there was a slain that bore and tied 10,000 good men's bodies, and so they had afore them a strong passage. Yet were they 50,000 of hardy men. Then it towards day, now shall ye do by mine advice, said Merlin, unto the 3 kings. I would that King Ban and King Bors and their fellowship was 10,000 men, will put in a wood here beside, and an ambushment, and keep them privy, that they be laid where the last of the day come, and they stir not to leave in their nights. I thought of them all, and when is they like dress for battle, even for them, and the passage, that they may see all your hosts, for then will they be the more hardy, when they see you but about 20,000 men, and cause them to be glad to suffer you, and your hosts to come over the passage. All the 3 kings and the whole barons said that Merlin said passingly well, and was done not as Merlin had. Goodbye. So on the morn, when either host saw other, the host of the north was well comforted. Then Zebulchus and Brasias were delivered 3,000 men of arms, and they set on them fiercely in the passage, and slew on the right hand and on the left hand, that it was wonder to tell, and that 11 kings, as there was, so few fellowship, and such a feat of arms, they were ashamed and set on them again fiercely, and there was Sir Orpheus, horses slain under him, but moderately well on foot. But the Duke of Sanso came and king of Clarence of Northumberland, were always grievous on Orpheus. Then Brasias saw his fellow player, settled with him, he smote the Duke with the spear, and horse man fell down, that's not from the Clarence, and returned to Brasias, and so he was smote others, so that the horse man liberated, and so they lay on his and the horse's knees grasped at a hard bone, that came Sir Kay, the central, with 6 fellows with him, and it passing well. With that came the 11 kings and their wizard that fell to the earth, horse and man, and Lucas above horse and man, by King Brandy horse, and King Idris, and King Arglans, then waxed the medley passing hard on both parties, and Sir Kay signed with on foot. They rode on King Demetrius, and smote him down, and led his horse into Sir Griffa, and horsed him again. Also Sir Kay, with the same spear, smote down King Lot, and hurt him passing sword. I saw King Sir smote down King Lot, and hurt him passing sword. I saw the king of other knights, and ran into Sir Kay, and smote him down, and took his horse, and made King Lot. Thereof he said, Magus, and Sir Griffa saw Sir Kay, and Lucas above on foot. He finished our spear, breaking his sword, and rode it out, after man of arms, and stole horse and a man, and then he took his horse, and gave praise to Sir Kay. Then King Lot saw him make him supper, and he ran unto Lot, the horse, and smote to him, down, horse and man, and gave him the King Idris, the horse, and horse him again. Also the king of other knights saw King Idris on foot, then he ran to move our knights before, and smote him down, and horse and man, and gave King Idris to the horse, and horse him again, and King Lot smote down Clarence, he got horse savage, and gave the horse unto Duke Peace. And so when they had horse kings, again they drew the ball, they had 10 men, and meanwhile came in surrender with the Hebrew repentance, and found Orpheus and Brasias on foot, in great peril of death, that were found to fall under horse feet. Then Arthur had a lion, ran the king proud into both whales, and smote through with the left side, that the horse, and the king fell down, and then took the horse out of and led him unto Orpheus, and said, Have this horse, thine old friend, so for great need hast thou a horse. Grandmother said, Orpheus then Sir Arthur did so marvelous in arms, that all men have wondered, when the king with 100 knights saw King Credomans on foot, he ran to Sir Edgar, and was a horse. Sir Edgar's father, and smote horse, and ran down, and gave the horse unto the king, and horsed him again. And when King Arthur saw the king ride on Sir Edgar's horse, he was wroth, and with the sword he smote the king on the helm, that a quarter of the helm and shield fell down, and so the sword carved down the horse's neck, and so the king and the horse fell down into the ground. Then Sir Kay unto Sir North and North, since the south, but the king of 100 knights, and smote him down, horse and man, and with the horse unto his father Sir Edgar. And Sir Edgar ran into the knight, right hands, and smote horse and man down, and with the horse unto Sir Rasmus. That great need had of that horse was greatly before him, and Rasmus beheld Lucas above him, not only like to sit down, and the horse is speaking, and were so good, but did marvelously for to rescue him. And there were always 14 knights on Sir Lucas, and then Rasmus smote one of them on the helm, that he went to the chief, and he rose and smote him, that the arm was of field. Then he went to the and smote him on the shoulder, that the shoulder on in the field. And when Griffith saw Rasmus, he smote him down on the table, set high, and held one to earth. And Griffith took the horse of that knight, and led him unto Sir Lucas, and laid the power upon the horse, and avenged his hurts. For Rasmus had slain the knights before, and first Griffith, chapter 15, yet has him out. Then Lucas saw King Arglans, that great and slain for his field approach, and Lucas ran to him with a short spear, that was great. But that he gave him to the fall, the horse fell down to the earth. Also Lucas found there on foot, Goliath, Landers, and Sir Gawainus, 2 heavy knights, and witness that Lucas was in, who he slew 2 bantams, and horse him again. Then ranks of battle passing hard on both parties, that Arthur was glad that his knights were horsed again, and that they fought together, that the noise and sound rang, and that the water wood were 14 men and keyboards made them ready, and dressed their shields and harness, and they were so courageous that many knights stood in for eagerness. And as well Lucas and Winas, and Brian, and Melius of Landers held strong midly against the 6 kings, that was King Lot, King Memphis, King of Grandors, King Idris, King Urians, and King Arganias. So with the help of Sir Kay and Sir Griffith, they held their 6 kings hard. That beneath them they had power to defend them, but when Sir Arthur saw the battle would not be ended in right manner, he retired wood as a shrine, and steered his horse here and there, on the right hand and on the left hand, as he stood thus, so he had slain 20 knights. Also he moved from horse to sword and sword, and made them to leap that ground, for Sir Kay and Griffith, who pushed from Arthur, their great deeds and arms, and Orpheus and Brasias and Sir Edgar encountered against the Duke, those knights, and King of Credomans, and King of Clarence and Northern Underland, and King Carlos, and against the King of 100 knights. So these knights encountered the these kings, having made them to a wood man, then King Lot, made great battle for his enemies in the swords, and set up for the kings, but if you will, you ran out of eyes, we shall be slain and destroyed. But let me have the King with 100 knights, and King Arganias, and King Idris, and the Duke of Canada, and we have kings who have 2,000 men of arms with us, and we will go our body 6 kings, up and belly for 12,000, and we see that we have 40 different long, and it will be for a long fiercely, and how shall we never match them? Simply not, but deny this mean, they party as they have denied, and 6 kings make their party strong against Arthur, and make great war law. In the meanwhile, break ambush with from Danny, from boys, and the Lord says, and Saturdays, and for that day. And the 2 knights met with King Idris in his field. There came a great benefit of breaking spear and striking swords, and many horses. And King Idris was near after the subject. That's what I meant to do with the promises, the Dias and horse of death. And the Duke of Tancred came on with all the victory with so King Idris were engaged their lives, and were thinking to return, but only Sarah seemed to something that was marvelous. When King Boris saw those knights attack, the beautiful sword, when he came on Sir Francis, seeing as like as Indy, when King Lot has 5 from Boris, he knew him well, that he said, oh yes, you defend us from death and horrible names, for I see well, we'd be very peril of death. For I see yonder king, one of the most and one of the highest in the world, who's compliant with his faith. Let's see, King of the 100 knights, It is unbelievable. I marvel how they came into this country without living with us all. It was under nice to the as for him, said King Cyrus, I will encounter King Boris, and you will rescue me when Mr. Scaron said, they all, you will do all that. Okay, then King Boris, his host, threw myself his silly king, as my King Boris had really brought, and either battle, let their horse run as fast as they might, and theirs as was announced from the King Boris, who raised his standard as a passing to that. Now see, said King Boris, how the order written, and bare arms, and King Boris encountered with a knife, and struck him throughout with a spear, and he fell down to the earth, and after his sword, and to mark his feet of arms, and all words every over thereof, and his knights failed not, but their cars and King Boris were smitten to the earth, but after the king uprooted knights, and rescued King Boris, vitally by force of arms, for he was a passing good knight for the king, but a man. Chapter 16. Yet Moses came back. I then came at the field, came back, as fierce as a lion. The band of green and their bundle, hot, said King Lot. They must be exposed. Far under, I see the most famous knight of the world, and the most renowned horse such as rather than access command, and King Boris are not living. Therefore we must use over now that we will king, otherwise they perish for death. And came to the battle. It came in so fiercely that the strokes demanded again from the wood and the water. Therefore King Lot, that pretty and all, and he saw several good men to their end. The further course of the man, when they put northern battles over farther. Together, and three companies under nice, small hammer, but it was pretty hard to look at modest group, but I think one thing was organized and only one gathered the people together, accidentally, and the three battles of arms, and put that all under my car. Only thing of organized, the only bandit that he banded, he pressed one side and one horse and struck on fire, one down, but there's still that's anything, so that King Man was off, and the forward on to fiercely, others saw that, and half cut the shield, spurred the sword forward, but the shorter King Man hauled his shield, and spurred the forward, spurred the man cut out, and tried to cast forward to the sword and slide down under the father behind the back, and cut through the back of his shield, and the horse gave him two pieces, but as sword falls to the earth, and King of Undernight went to the horse slightly, with his sword, he braced the horse of King Man, and thrown him through, with man, one relying on him that was, and King Man smote and others in through. On the helm, then he fell to the earth. Also in that year, he fell King Orlean, and there was a great slaughter of 2 knights and 1 people. But then came his professor God and captured man, standing among dead men, and their voices rising on the path, which, as with lion, they as came, driven nigh him, as far as he might reach with his sword, but he not the path wherein King Arthur had her pity, and Arthur was so lame, that out of his shield, there might no man broken, for all his blood and brains on the sword. And as Arthur looked on him, he saw a knight that was passing we were horse, and there which Sir Arthur grazed him, and smote him on the helm, that his sword went into his teeth, and the knight sank down into the earth dead, and anon Arthur took the horse right around, and led him into King Man. He said, fair brother, have this horse, for he had great mister thereof, and he repents of sword every damage. They shall all be soon revenged in man, but I trust in God not, for it is not such that some of them may so repent of this. I go, said Arthur, for I see you will eat small active, nevertheless I must not come at you at that time. But when King Man man's my horse, I never again moved a mantle, the push was full, and on passing great slaughter, and so through the great forest King Arthur, King Man, and King Boris laid their knights, turned back, and circled through them towards the wood, and so over a little river, and there they rested them. For the night they might have a rest on the field, and then the 11 kings and knights took them all people together, as men of prayer and as of all comfort. But there was no man might pass them. They held them so hard together, put behind the foot, that King Arthur and marveled for deeds of arms, and was passing wrought. Sir, Arthur, said King Man, thinking Boris, let them not, whether you as good men ought to do. For my faith, said King Man, they are best I can men, and knights are not far less. And as I saw Arthur speak up, those 11 kings are men of great worship, and they were longing unto you, there were no king under the heaven had such 11 knights, and of such worship. I may not love them, said Arthur, they withstood that what are we left, said King Man, thinking Boris, for they are mortal enemies, and have not been provided beforehand, and this day they have done their heart, and that is a great pity of their equivalents. Then all the 11 kings agreed together, and then said King Boys, you must other ways than you do, or else Santa Claus is behind. You may see what people we have lost, and what men we lose. Because we wait always on these footmen, however and saving the we lose, and worsen. Therefore this is my advice. Let us put our footmen from us, for it is near night, but no longer will not tarry on the footmen. For they may save themselves, the wood is near hand. And when we horsemen be together, look over each of you kings, let us make ordinance, and that none great on him death. And who that seeth any man presently, likely that he be slain. For it is better that we slay coward, than through a coward always be slain. How say ye, said King Lot? And so be all ye kings. It is well said, for King of Memphis, so said the king of the 100 knights, and the same said the king Bardas, and king Orleans, so did King Igus, and king Rhinodoris, and so did King Crowns, and Duke of Taverns, and the same said King Clarence, and King Begwinius, and swear they would never fail other, neither for life nor for death. And whoso that fled, but did as they did, should be slain. Then they amended their harness, and righted their shields, and took new spears, and set them on their thighs, and stood still as it had been upon of wood. Chapter 17. Yes, more of the same battle, and how was ended by murder. When Sir Arthur and King Ben Boris beheld them and all their knights, they praised them for their noble true children. For the haughty strikers that ever they heard or saw, with bands made of best from the noble knights and sons of the kings, they would break their mantle, and these were their names: Princess, Bavarian, Sylvius, Rasgas, Hector, Rufus, Philother, Ritless, Lydius, Nebu, Marius, de la Rose, Julianus, de Ola, Brians, de la Forest, Savage, Belias, Morans, of the castle maidens, when there is of the castle ladies, and that was King Boris godson, but no night, and as you like the rules, there are Spalas, racing into the castle line, one of those being blackface, and Sir Barbara amongst people, all these knights rode on a pole with spears on their thighs, and spurred their horses mightily as the horses might run, and 11 kings with carts of their knights rushed with their horses as fast as they might, with their spears, and there they did, on both arms these marvelous deeds of arms. So came into the best after the animals, assuming they right on both hands, and their horses went in blood up to the fetlocks, that ever the 11 kings and their host was ever in the midst of the battle. Wherefore, band and boars, and great marvel, considering the great slaughter that there was, but at the last they driven the back over all the river. But that came rolling on a great black horse, and said unto Arthur, Thou hast never done, hast thou not done enough? Of 300,000 this day hast thou left alive, but 15,000, and it is never said, Go, 3,000 run thee, that thou wilt never have done. For yonder 11 kings at this time, not the other crown, but hand thou carry on them any longer. That fortune will turn and they shall increase, and therefore have brought to you your blood and perish as soon as ye may, and reward your good kings and gold with silver. For they have already deserved it. For their may no riches be too dear for them, so few men as ye have, therefore in better men to the house than they have been today, for ye have passed the day. For that matter is unlawful. That is true, said King Man, boys also said Merlin, will tell you, where ye list, for this year, I dare undertake, they shall not hear you, and by then they shall hear me, and then Merlin said to Arthur, these 11 kings have more on hand than they are there. Fighting from the countries, more than 40,000 that hurried away as they seen the castle, one is born, and with their destruction, therefore there will be not for a year. Also, several good that you got at the battle of the church. Then when you have it in your hand, let it be given freely unto these two kings and boys, that any record that has that cause strangers to be offended, who will do you service at you. Also, you have to organize of your own goods, that like you had just enough said, Father, and as thou hast divided, so shall it be done. And boys, I gave the good to freely for the knights, and then Merlin took and leave the water and the king, holding go and see the master queens, that dwelt in Netherland, and served the part of the king's master, that was passed away, understanding that people how long there is the king, and spread out the great battle, and how it was ended, and the two names of every king, and not the word that's there, and so he was the battle, word of Merlin told him, how began by whom and Atlas-Atman ended, and through her, all battles that they were not the day, where his master leagues, through light, also he did through night. All the battles of every 49 to did below his sword. After this Merlin started from his master and came to King Arthur back with the castle of Edward. I was on the castle of the sand in the first period, and Merlin was so sad that King Arthur knew him, that he was all well figured in black sheepskins and a great pair of boots and a bow and arrows, and a russet gown and brought one piece in his hand. And it was more at the animal master that King Arthur knew him not. So said Merlin unto the king, will you give me a gift? Wherefore said King Arthur, should I give you a victual? Sure, sir, said Merlin. You are never to give me a gift that it is not in your hand, and so lose your riches, for he is in the same place where the great battle is, the great treasure hidden there. Who told me so full? Said Arthur. Merlin told me so, said he. And back yesterday and not his house, and these 2 nights it is recommended to stated unto you that King Arthur was greatly abashed and had marveled Merlin, and so had King Ban and King Bors, and so they had great disport at him. So in the meanwhile, there came a damosel that was an earl's daughter. His name was Sanab, and her name was Lionors, a passing fair damosel. And so she came thither for to be homies as of the lords, and after the great damsel. And King Arthur set his love greatly upon her, and so named was Rory. That was after a good night of the table round. Then there came word of the King Prince of North Wales, made great war of King Leodegrance of Canfiard, for the which King Arthur was wroth, for he loved him well and hated King Rience, for he was always against him. So by ordinance of the 3 kings that were sent home Prince of Benwick, all they would depart for bread of King Claudius, and Variance, and Antonides, and Gratian and Lancus of Paeoni, with the leaders of those that should keep the king's lands. Chapter 18, how King Arthur came back with more especially King Leodegrance, and other incidents. And then King Arthur and King Ben and King Bors departed with their fellowship, the 20,000, and came within 6 days into the country of the Camelot, and there to rescue the king Leodegrance, and slew there much people of King Rience, unto the number of 10,000, and put them to flight, and then had with these 3 kings great cheer of King Leodegrance, that defense of them of their great goodness, and they would revenge him on his enemies, and there had Arthur for the first night of the Fennel year, the king's daughter of Camelot, and ever after he loved her, after they were wedded as it said in the book. So briefly to make an end, they took their leave to go into their own countries for King Claudius, to great strict on their lands, and he said, Arthur, I will go with you nay to the kings, you shall not at this time, ye have much beauty in these lands, therefore will depart, and great goods that we have gotten in these lands on your gifts, we shall wait to the next hand. And King Claudius, Matters, I, for the grace of God, and we have need, we will send to you in support, and if we have need, send for us, and we will not Arthur may not be long for you from you, for within a year or 2 you shall have great peace, and then shall he revenge you all your enemies, as he had done on his. For these 11 kings shall die on the day, 90 great ones of that as well as legal thanks, as it telleth after, their names being Balin the Savage, and Malad his brother, and that to be marvelous good knights, as he in the little. Now turn these 11 kings that before the city, that night saw us, which city was within King Orleans, and never touched them as well as they might, and the leeches searched their wounds, and messenger had told there was come into their lands, people that were lawless, daughters, sergeants, and 50,000 had breaking slain all people that they may come out, with their mercy, and laying siege down castle, along the ball. Alas, said 11 kings, here is Sodom on Sodom, and on war and get mounted, what we have done, we for vengeance, as for King, the other knights, we love it. Arthur, better than us, and as far as King Rams, he had enough to do with Leo for the events, or he had laid siege over him, so they consented together to keep all the monsters of Cornwall, the Wales, and of the North. So first they put King Arthur in the city of Massachusetts with him, with 4,000 men, the arms to watch the water in the land, also they put in the city of Rome Sam, King Lucas, of Galas with 4,000 knights, to watch both on water and on land. Also they had on the men of war more than 8,000 fortified fortresses in the marches of Cornwall. Also they put more knights in all the marches of Wales and Scotland, but many good men of arms, and so they kept them together the space of 3 years, and never allied them with any mighty kings and dukes and lords. And so then fell King Rience of North Wales, the witch and Nero, that was a mighty man of men, and all this while they furnished men, and garnished them of good men of arms and victual, and all manner of admiralmen, that pretended to civil war. So then the battle of Bedroom, as the telling of the adventures following. Chapter 19. King Arthur departed again, but his dream and how he saw pressing beasts, and the army of King Man, and King Glorious King Arthur rode into Carpathian, and thither came to him to watch by the morning, the manner of messengers stands thither, as far as King Arthur, and she came to be seen, with her full sons Wayne, and hairs, Arthur, and men, and again. With many other knights and ladies, for she was a passing fair lady. Therefore the king cast great love unto her and desired to lie by her, so they would agree and he began to murder. And she was with his sister on his mother's side Ivory. So there she rested her month. And at the last of March that the king great mind was free, and whereof he was sore dread. But all this time King Arthur knew not that King Olaf's wife was his sister. Thus was a dream of Arthur. Him thought there was from this land difference in servants, and him thought they graces of all the people of the land, and then him thought he stopped talking with them, and they did him passing very far, and wounded him also. But as he once he slew them, when the king awaked, he was passing heavy of the dream. Instead of prince and house of floods, he made him ready with many knights, some riding and hunting. As soon as he was before, Sir King saw the great heart before him, this heart by shades, and King Arthur, and so he spurred the horse and rode after long. And so when the not because might have smited the heart, whereas the king had chased the heart so long, that his horse lost his breath and fell down dead. Then the evil man, Mr. King, another horse. So the king saw the heart in the bush, and his horse saved. He set him down by a fountain, and there he fell in great dust. As he said so, he heard a noise in hands, the son of 30. And as the king saw coming toward him, the strangest beast that ever he saw or heard of. So beast wanted to well and drink, and the noise was in the beast's belly, like after the quest of 30 pounds. Then all the while the beast cried, but there no noise in the beast's belly, and then with the beast departed of great noise, where the king had great marvel. And so he was in a great cause, and then when he fell asleep, right so there came a knight of it unto Arthur, and said, Knight, call of cause and sleepy, tell me if thou sawest a strange beast pass this way. Such one I saw I, said King Arthur, that it is past 2 miles. What would ye with the beast? Said Arthur, Sir, I have followed that before having killed my horse, so would God I had another to follow my quest. Right so came one of the king's horse, and when the knight saw the horse, he prayed the king to give him the horse, by a call of his quest to swell one. And he laughed on shoe or leave it the best of blood in the body. I will know that time came followed by questing beast, and after his death, Sir Clytemnestra followed it. Chapter 20. How King Eleanor took Arthur's horse, and followed the questing beast, and how Merlin met with Arthur. Sir Knight said the king, leave thy quest, and suffer me to have it, and I will follow it another 12 months. Oh, said the knight unto Arthur, it is in vain thy desire, for it shall never be achieved, but by me or my next day. Therewith he started unto the king's horse mounted into the saddle, and said, Rather see this horse is my own. Well, said the king, thou mayest take my horse by force, but I might prove thee with thou fair better on horseback or I. Well, said the knight, seek me here when thou wilt, and fear not, this well thou shalt find me. And so cast Arthur's way, and the king sat in sturdy, and bade his men fetch his horse, and so fast as ever they might. Right so came the knight of Merlin, like a child of 14 years of age, and saw looking at the king, and asked him, Why he was so pensive? I may well be pensive, said the king, for I have seen the marvelous sight that I ever saw. But Merlin I, well, Merlin, as well as thyself in all thy thoughts, but thou art as full as hate thought, or it would not have been thee. Also I know that thou art and who was thy father, and of whom thou wert begotten. King Uther Pendragon was thy father, and we dance thee on Ivory, and that is false, said King Arthur. How shouldst thou know it? For thou art not so old of years, and know my father. Yes, said Merlin, I know it better than ye or any living. I will not believe thee, said Arthur, and was wroth with the child. So departed Merlin, and came upon Arthur, so man of 4 years of age. For the king was quite glad, for he seemed to be quite wise. Then said the old man, Why are ye so sad? I may well be heavy, said Arthur, for the things. Also he was a child, and told me anything that we see that. We not sure not know, for he was not of age, and know my father. Yes, said the old man, the child had told you true, and more would have told you, and he would have suffered him. But he had nothing great, and God is the sweetest of you. For ye have slain Lane, by your sister, and on her ye have gotten child, and shall destroy you on that your realm. For ye, said Arthur, and tell me these tidings, I am Merlin, and I was he in the child's likeness. Said Arthur, marvelous man, I marvel much of thy words, but I was not in that. Marvel not, said Merlin, for it is God's will for thine to be punished for your foul deeds, but I may well be sorry, said Merlin. For I shall die him for death. But he looked at her quick, and he shall die worshipful for death. And as they talked this, came one with the king's horse, and so he mounted on his horse, and Merlin on another. And so Merlin took Merlin, and another king asked Hector, and walked his how he was beyond him. And they told him who the Pendragon was his father, and King Ivory his mother. Then he said to Merlin, I will that my mother be sent so that I may speak with her, and if she say so herself, then will I believe it. Then will haste, so the queen was sent for. And if she say to herself, then I will believe it, then will haste. The queen was sent for, and she came brought for her morning pay, her daughter. That was a fair lady, as any might be, and the king welcomed Ivory in the best manner, kept the law. Obvious repeat. When I rang Arthur's mother, a treason and how a knight came desired, sat after the master of the band. Right so came Orpheus and said openly, the king and all my fear that were feasted that day. He are the falsest lady of the world, and most traitress unto the king's person. Beware unto Arthur, what thou sayest, thou seest a great word. I am well aware, said Orpheus, now I speak, and here is my love to prove it upon any man, and will say the great war. Beforehand you would have uttered it in the life of King Rupert Pendragon, of you, and how you were young and ye had never had the wars that ye have had, for the most part of your ends of your realm, you never do so ye did. No women you were begotten, and you and there you come from among you should have made it no good in me excusing of the worship of yours, and likewise all your realm. Wherefore I prove your house to God, and to you all your realm. But then said I and said, I am a woman, and I may not find, but rather than I should be dishonored. There would some good man take my oral, she said. Merlin knoweth well, and you, sir, Orpheus, how King Rupert came to me and passed on Trivia, and likeness of my lord, and she that was dead 3 hours before, and thereby aghast the child that night upon me, and after the first day, who prevented me, and by this madness, when the child was born, it was delivered into Merlin and nursed by him, and so I saw the child never after, nor long to what this is his name, for I knew his name never yet, and there Orpheus said to the queen, Merlin is more to blame than ye. Well, I know it's the queen, I bear a child, but I will King Rupert, that I will not where he is go. Then Merlin put the king by the hand, saying, Sister mother, and there was Sir Edgar, their witness, how he knows. And Arthur was language. And then King Arthur took his wonderful hand in his arms and kissed her, and eager flesh upon other. And then the king went like a feast, and lasted 8 days. Later came before his fire on horseback, even the night before him. King Richard and told him how there was a knight in the forest, and had freed up a pavilion by well, and half slain my master. The good knight, his name was Miles. Wherefore I beseech you that my master may be buried, and that some knights may revenge my master's death. There the noise was raised from that staff in the court, and every man said his advice. Then came Griffith, and was a squire, and was but young of the age of King Arthur, so he besought the king for a service that he had him to give order of knight. Therefore you, how Griffith was made knight and dastard of knight. Thou art full young and tender of age, said Arthur, for to take so high an order on thee. Sir, said Griffith, I beseech you, make me knight. Sir, said Merlin, it were great pity to lose Griffith, for he will be a passing good man when he is off age. But I will do the turn of his life, and if he adventure his body with yonder knight at the fountain, it is in great peril that he come again, for he is one of the best knights of the world in strongest man at arms. Well, said Arthur, so hath the desire of Griffith, the king made him knight. Now, said Arthur, and so Sir Griffith, sit, I have made you knight, and thou must give me a gift. What you will, said Griffith, thou shalt promise me, and the faith of thy body, when thou hast cast it with the knight at the fountain, whether it fall ye be on the foot, and horseback that night, so you shall come again unto me, if that making thing or faith, and will promise you, said Griffith, that desire. And said Griffith, his horse in great haste, and dressed a shield, and took the spear in his hand, and so he rode with 3 followed, till he came to the Pan. And thereby he saw a rich pavilion, and thereby under it stood a fair horse, well saddled and girdled, and on a tree of a shield of divers feathers, and a great spear, and Griffith smote on the shield. The butt of the spear, the shield fell down to the ground with I came out of the pavilion and said, Fair knight, I spoke ye down my shield, for I will address with you. So Griffith, it is better you now, said the knight, for ye are but young, and I have late made knight, and for knights is nothing to mine as for that, said Griffith. I will address with you that it is easy to flow, said the knight, said, I must needs, I will address with you thereto, of whence be ye, said the knight, sir, I am not this court. So the 2 knights sprang together, and Griffith's spear fought to shirt, and therewithal he smote Griffith through the shield and a left side, and the great spear ran crushing and struck in his body, at the horse and knight fell down. Chapter 23. Now 12 knights came from Rome, and asked to lodge for this land of Arthur, how Arthur fought with a knight. When the knight saw him lie so on the ground, he alighted and was passing heavy, for he leaned, and he had slain him, and he unlaced his helm, and gat him wind. And so with the preaching he sent him on his horse, and so he betook him to God, and said he had a mighty heart, but if he might live, he would prove a passing good knight. And so Sir Griffith rode to his court, for a great ball was made for him, but through good leeches he was healed and saved. Right so came into the court 12 knights and would 80 men, and they came from the emperor of Rome, and they asked Arthur to lodge for this realm. Other else the emperor would destroy him and his land. Well, said King Arthur, ye are messengers, therefore you may say what you will. Other else did not their home, but this is my answer. I owe the emperor the drops. No none shall I hold him. I want a fair field, I shall give him my drops. That shall be but a spear, or else a sharp sword. And that shall not be long by my father's sword to avenge dragon. And then the messengers found passingly wroth, and King Arthur had called, who was no time came their men. For the king was passingly wroth, with the purpose of Griffith. And so he made a weak man with saying that had a deal with that sword, same armor, but all I long had come to his person. He would like to set the old tomorrow day. I go tomorrow day, he met with his man and his order, so he mounted up and dressed his shield, and he took the spear and made his chamberlain carry there, so he came again. And so Arthur turned a soft face, Turles and Gay, and then was the lair of 3 girls kissing Merlin, and would have slain him. Then the king rode and said to them, he gave them 3 Turles, and they a freer, when they saw him, and they put him Merlin, he said, Arthur, here hast thou been slain for all thy past, had I not been. Nay, said Merlin, not so, for I could say myself as I would, and thou art more near thy death than I am, for thou goest to the deathward, and God be not thy friend. So as they went thus talking, they came to the fountain, and the rich pavilion there by us. Then King Arthur was there, where it stands, and knight armed. I swear, Sir Knight, said Arthur, for what cause of this out here, and there may no knight right this way, but if he counts with me, said the king, I read thee, we have custom, said Arthur. This custom, said the knight, have I used, and I will use my career. Who saith nay, and who is grieved with my custom, let him amend it, and I will amend it, said Arthur. That's not friendly, said the knight, and all the physical and the shield and the spear, and the next so hard either on Arthur's shields, that all to shiver their spears, therewith and on Arthur pulled out the sword, nay, not so, said the knight, it is fairer, and the knight, we twain run more together with sharp spears. I will well, said Arthur, and I had any more spears I have now, said the knight. So there came a squire and brought 2 good spears, and Arthur strode with one and another. So they spurred on their horses and came together with all their might. I either break their spears to their hands, and Arthur said, not hand on the sword. Nay, said the knight, ye shall do better. You are passing good counselor, as ever I met the whole. And once along the high order of knights, let us joust once again. I sent he, said Arthur, and on there were brought 2 great spears, and every knight stands a spear therewith they ran together, and Arthur's spear, all the shiver. But the other knight had hit him so hard in the midst of the shield, that the horse and man fell to earth. And therewith Arthur was eager and pulled out the sword, and said, I will save thee, Sir Knight, on foot, for I have lost honor on horseback, and will be on horseback, said the knight. When was Arthur wroth? He dressed the shield forth him with his sword drawn, when the knight saw that he had alighted, but him not to worship to have a knight, as to them he be on horseback, and he on foot. And so he alighted and dressed the shield unto Arthur. And there began a strong battle of many great strokes, and so few with their swords that the hands fell smooth in the fields, and was overlaid with blood. Thus they fought long and rested them, and then they went to the battle again. And so hurtled together like 2 rams, that even fell to their. So at last they smote together that their swords met even together. But the sword of the knight smote King Arthur's sword in 2 pieces, wherefore he was heavy. Then said the knight unto Arthur, Thou art my daughter, whether me looks to save thee or slay thee, but thou yield thee as overcome and recreant, thou shalt die as for death. Said King Arthur, Welcome be it when it cometh, but to yield me unto thee as a recreant I have life or die. Then speaks of shame, and therewithal the king leapt unto Eleanor, and took him by the middle, and threw him down, and ripped off his helm. Then to the knight found that he was a wreck, but he was a passing big man of might, and not he hot, Arthur under him, and ripped off his helm, and with his knight off his head. Chapter 24. Merlin saved Arthur's life and threw an enchantment on King Eleanor, and made him to sleep. Withal came Merlin and said, Knight, hold thy hand, I will now slay that knight, how this realm in the greatest hand. So that ever was realm of his knight, this man of more worship than thou thinkest. Why he seized to the knight, it is King Arthur, that would he have slain him for a threat of threat, and he left the sword, and there was Merlin cast enchantments to the knight, so that he fell to the earth and uttered sleep. Then Merlin took up King Arthur and rode forth on the knight's horse. Alas, said Arthur, what hast thou done, Merlin? Hast thou slain this good knight by thy grasp? He was not so worshipful a knight as he was, and had wider than the skins of my land the year that he lived. Care ye not, said Merlin, for he is fuller than he. For he is but asleep, and will wake up in 3 hours. I told you, said Merlin, that a knight he was here had he been slain, had I not been. Also there liveth not a bigger knight than he is one, and he shall hereafter do you right his service, and his name is Eleanor, and he shall have 2 sons, and shall be passing good men, save one, and they shall have the middle of Pravis, and a good living, and the names shall be Ursula of Wales, and Manric of Wales, and shall take the name of your own son. Be bound to her sister, and shall be the destruction of this realm. Chapter 5. Arthur by the means of Merlin, and Excalibur, his sword, the lady of the lake. So King had departed, and went to an apartment that was a good man, and rich. So the furnished circle of wounds, and gave him good sight on the tables. So the king was there 3 days, and then those wounds well amended, that he might ride him go. And so it mounted, and as they rode, Arthur said, I have no sword. Of course, said Merlin, your eye is a sword, it shall be yours, as I may. They rode till they came to the lake, which was fair water and broad, and into the lake Arthur was where and on cloth and white sun eyes, that fell of their sword in that hand. Below, said Merlin, the armor had so died, said, with that they saw the damsel going upon the lake. The damsel asked Arthur, and the lake of said Merlin, but in the lake is a rock, and there is a staircase as any other, and which will be seen, and his damsel will come to you anon. And then say to be fair to her, that she will give you that sword, and on withal came the damsel unto Arthur, and saluted him, and gave her again. Damsel said Arthur, what sword is that? And yonder arm holdeth above the water. I would it were mine, for I have no sword. Sir Arthur came, said the damsel, that sword is mine, and he will give you a stick, for I ask of you, you shall have it. By my faith, said Arthur, I will give you what gift you ask. Well, said the damsel, go ye into battle with others, and bring yourself to the sword, and take it in the scabbard with you. And I will ask my gift when I see my time. So Sir Arthur and Merlin alighted, and tied their horses to 2 trees, and so they went with the ship. And when they came to the sword, at his hand held, Sir Arthur took it of the handles, and took it with him, and the arm of the hand went under the water. And so they came up the land and rode forth, and then Sir Arthur saw which pavilion. What signifieth yonder pavilion, that the knight's pavilion, said Merlin, and he fought with the lance of Sir Eleanor. But he is out, he is not there. He hath to do with the knight of doors, that night, Eglaim, and they had fought together. But at last Eglaim fled, and now he hath him dead, and hath chased him even to Pavilion, and shall meet with him anon in the highway. That is well said, said Arthur. Now I have a sword, now will I bring battle with him, and be revenged on him. Sir, you shall not so, said Merlin, for the knight is neither fighting and chasing, so that he shall have no wizard to have to do with him. Also he will not be lightly matched with my knight living, therefore is my counsel. Let him pass, so he shall do you good service in good time, and a sign after his days. Also you shall see that day in short space, you shall be right glad, give him his sister to wed. When I see him, I will do as he advised, said Arthur. Then Sir Arthur looked at the sword. the light passing well, rather than like to be better, said Merlin. Sword or scabbard, we like a better sword, said Arthur. You are more wise, said Merlin. The scabbard, or the swords, no else you have scabbard upon you, you shall never lose their blood. Be never so slow footed, therefore keep well the scabbard always with you. So they rose the country Carillion, and by the way, Sir Philo, that Merlin, that down to the path, that Philo saw no longer, and it is by cutting the Bibles out at night. Do not speak, said Merlin, you saw, do not, for as he had seen you, he had not lied about it, so they knew about it. Merlin is nice, for passing lad. When they heard of his adventure, they mocked us for that he would never done. And this person, so, the old man of worship, said it was married to be under such treason, I would put this person, adventure, as before nicely. Chapter 26. A present king of Arthur, a king of France, and of 11 kings, and happy desire Arthur's third beard to shred his mantle. This meanwhile came a messenger from King Rience of North Wales and King Duos of Isle, and of many islands, and this was his message speaking well King Arthur in the manner wise, saying that King Rience had comforted, and of 11 kings, and Riech of London and Homage, and that was this. They gave him their beards being played off, as much as there was. Therefore the messenger sent King Arthur's beard, for King Rience had purple mantle, king of beards, and they are blacks, one face of mantle, wherefore he sent his beard, or else he would enter with the lands, and burn its slay and never leave, so he had in their beard. Thou, Sir Arthur, thou hast sent thy message, the which is most real and luminous message, that every man heard and sent to the king. Also thou mayest see my beard is so young, yet uncomfortable. But now thou I do it, I hope you've done homage for mine elders, but where it belongs to you, he shall do me homage on both his knees, or else he shall lose his head by the faith of my body. But this is the most shameful message that I ever heard speak of. I have assigned thy king, that never yet much proportionable man, and tell him I will have his head without you doing me homage, and the messenger art now is a many years Arthur, I know King Rience, and answer night at height, our answer I know the king well. He is a passing good man, but his body as a few be living, and passing fat man, and soon after how he will make war on you by his useless. Well, said Arthur, I shall ordain for him a short time. Chapter 27. How all children were sent forth, I will go on May Day, and how Mordred was saved. Then King Arthur left to send for all children. All on May Day, the other boys and the ladies were most King Arthur, and sent to children to be born on May Day, wherefore he sent all them up. The one of death was there were found many lords, sons, and all were sent to the king, and so was Mordred sent by King Lot's wife, and all were put in ships to sea. Some were 4 weeks old, and some less, and so like working the shipwright, on the council, and after something privy, and destroyed the most part, saying that Mordred was cast up, and good man found him, and nourished him until he was 14 years old. And then he brought him to court, and as every person afterward, brought him to the death of Arthur, sending lords and barons around Lord's seas, where their children so also named to the right, on Merlin more than on Arthur. So what for friend, and for love, they held their peace, but when the messenger came to King Rience, then was he would upon the measure, and forbade him for great wounds, and to rehearse it, after in the book of Heavenly Savage, that all of that after, have I a measure bearing that sword. And explicit library bring us incident library on this. Book 2, chapter 1 of the damsel, which can rich with a sword, would found a man such ropes to be dried out of the scabbard. After the death of Uther Pendragon reigned Arthur's son, the which had great war in his days for the people of England into his hand, where there were many kings of the realm of England, and in Wales, Scotland, and Cornwall. So there fell out of time, and King Arthur was at London, and a knight and told the king tidings how the King Rience of North Wales had reared a great number of people, and were entered into the land and birthed and slew the king's true legion. But this be true, said Arthur, it were great shame of mine estates, but that we were mindfully understood. It was true, said the knight, for himself, myself. Well, said the king, let me have a cry, that old lords, knights and gentlemen of arms, should draw into a castle full of Camelot. In those days, and the king would not take the council general, and great guests, so when the king was come thither, of all his baronage, and lodged as they seemed best, there was come a damsel, the which was sent on message from the great lady Lily of Aeglon. And when she came before King Arthur, she told from whom she came, and who she was sent on message unto him for these causes. Then she let her mantle fall back because she heard, and for then that she was girt with a noble sword, whereof the king had marvel, and said, Damsel, for what cause are you girt with the sword? It deceiveth you not. Now shall I tell you, to the damsel, this sword that I am girt will about me great sorrow and cumbrance. For I may not be delivered of the sword but by a knight, but he must be passing good man of his hands and of his deeds, and without villainy or treachery, and without treason. And if I may find such a knight that hath all these virtues, he may draw out the sword out of the sheath. For I have been at King Rience's, it was told me there were passing good knights, and he his knight hath saved, if none can speed. This is a great marvel, said Arthur. Let this be sooth, I will myself essay to draw out the sword, not presuming upon myself, that I am the best knight. But I will begin to draw out your sword, and give an example to the barons, that they shall essay to reach one after another. When I have essayed it, then Arthur took the sword out of the sheath, and over on from what hath it eagerly. The sword would not have. Sir, said the damsel, you need not to fall axe to the heart, for he that shall fall it out shall deal it with little might. He says well, said Arthur, now say, ye all my barons, but beware if you be not defiled with shame, treachery, or guile. Then it will not avail to the damsel, but he must be a clean knight without villainy, and the gentle strain of father's side and mother's side. Most of all the barons of the round table that were there no came time to say to fall by road, but there might none speak. Wherefore the damsel made great sorrow out of measure, and said, Alas, I will leave this sport, and in the best knights without treacherous reason. By my faith, said Arthur, here are good knights as I mean, as any be in the world, but their grace is not to help me, wherefore I am this weak. Chapter 2. Now all in, the Lord of the fortnight brought the sword, which afterward was the cause of his death. Then fell, it said at the time there was a fortnight of King Arthur, that had been prisoner with him half a year, and more for slaying of the knights. the witch was cousin unto King Arthur. The name of the knight was called Baldwin, and by the means of the barons he was delivered out of prison. For he was a good man, named his body, and he was born in Northumberland. And so he went quickly into the court and saw this adventure, wherever great desire he was saved, another knights did. But for he was old and fully arrayed, he stood him not far and pressed, but in his heart he was fully assured to do as well. Let his race attack him, as any knights had their ways. And as damsel took her lead of Arthur, the old barons stood parting his falling, called unto her, and said, Damsel, I pray you of your courtesy, suffer me as well as say, as these lords, that I be so fully lost. In my heart, you see that I am fully assured as some of the others, and you see that in my heart this you right well. The damsel beheld the forenight, and saw he was a lucky man, and his whole argument, she thought she should be of no worshipful outbuilding or virtue. And then she said unto the knight, Sir, if you would not to put me to more pain or labour, for it seemeth not ye to speed there as other have failed. Ah, fair damsel, said Baldwin, worthiness and good statutes, and good deeds are not only in the ravens, but manhood and worship is said within man's person, and many a worshipful knight is not known to all people, and therefore worship and hardiness is not known to ravens. By God, said the damsel, he says she, therefore he shall say to you what he may. Then Baldwin took the sword by the girl, and she, and drew it out easily, and he looked upon the sword, and pleased him much. Then had he came up there and said, marvel that Baldwin had done that adventure, and many knights had great size of Baldwin. Princess, said the damsel, this is a messenger knight for us that ever I found, and most of the work without treason treachery of me, and many marvels shall he do. Now, gentle and courteous knight, give me the sword again. Nay, said Baldwin, for the sword will I keep. But if he's taken from me, of course. Well, said the damsel, you are not wise to keep the sword from me, for you shall slay with the sword the best friend that you have, and the man that you most love in this world, and the sword shall be your destruction. I shall take the adventure, said Baldwin, that God will ordain me, but the sword you shall not have at this time, by the faith of my body. You shall repent it within short time, said the damsel, for I will have the sword more for your unveil than for mine, for I am passing heavy for your sake, for you will not believe that sword shall be your destruction, and that it is great pity. But that the damsel departed, making great sorrow. And on after Baldwin sent forth his horse and armor, and so would depart from the court, and took his leave of King Arthur. Nay, speaking, I suppose you will not depart so lightly from the fellowship. I suppose ye are displeased by truth and kindness. Blame me the last time I misinformed against you. I ween ye had not been such a knight as ye are worshipping prowess, and ye will abide in this court among my fellowship. I shall so advance you, as ye shall be pleased. Not then, your highness, said Baldwin. You must needs depart, be such a new way under good grace. Truly, said the king, I am right off fully regarding that ready your knight, and ye tarry not long, and ye shall be right welcome to me, and to my barons, and I shall amend all this, and I have done against you. God, thank you, your great lordship. The knights of the round table said that Baldwin did not disappoint for all, only by might, but by witchcraft. Chapter 3. Of the lady of the lake demanded the knight's head that had won the sword, for the maiden said, the meanwhile, that his knight was making him ready to depart, there came into the court a lady at height, the lady of the lake, and she came on horseback between the sea, and saluted King Arthur, and then asked him to give him promise her when she gave him the sword. Let us shoot, said Arthur. I give that promise to you, but I have forgotten the name of my sword you gave me. The name of it, said the lady, is Excalibur. That is as much to say as that steel. You say, well, said the king, ask what you will, and you shall have it, and it lies in my power to give it. Well, said the lady, I ask of heaven the knights that have won the sword, or else the damsel's head I brought it. They take my horse, though I have but their heads, for he slew my brother, a good knight and a true, and that gentlewoman was causer in my father's death. Truly, said King Arthur, I may not grant me their heads with my worship, therefore ask what you will else, and I shall fulfill your desire. I will ask one other thing, said the lady, when that wind was greater, how he saw the lady of the lake, that by her means had slain Baldwin's mother, and he had sought her 3 years, and when it was told him that he asked his head of King Arthur, he went to her straight and said, he will be found, he would have my head, and therefore he chose his swords. And with his sword, lightly he smote out her head, before King Arthur, alas, for shame, said Arthur, why have you done, sir? Ye have killed me, and all my court, for this was a lady that I was behold. And ever she came under my safe conduct, I shall never forgive you that trespass. Sir, and Baldwin, me forfeit of your pleasure, for this same lady was untrue lady, living by enchantment and sorcery, she hath been the destroyer of many good knights, and she causes that my mother was dead, through her falsehood and treachery, but causesoever ye had, said Arthur, ye should have forborne her in my presence, therefore think not the contrary. Ye shall repent it for such another disguise had I never in my court, therefore draw you out my court more hasty may. Then Baldwin took the head of the lady, and there went into his hostelry, and there he met with his squire that was sorry he had displeased King Arthur, and so they rode forth out of the town, and now said Baldwin, here must depart, take down this head, and bear it to my friends, and tell them how I have sped, and tell my friends of Northumberland, and my most foe is dead. Also tell them how I am not the prisoner, and what venture befell me at taking with the sword. Alas, said the squire, ye are greatly to blame, for it displeased King Arthur. As for that, said Baldwin, I will hide me in all the haste, and I may to meet with King Rience, and destroy him, neither else to die therefore. And if they have me to win him, then will King Arthur be my good gracious lord. Where shall I meet with you, said the squire, and King Arthur scored said Baldwin. So his squire and departed at the time, by the lady of the lake, and the king buried her richly. Book 2, Chapter 4, How Merlin told the adventure of this damsel. At that time there was a knight, the which was the king's son of Ireland, and his name was Matsior, the which was an arduous knight, and counted himself one of the best of the court. And he had great despite at Balin for the achieving of the sword, that any should be accounted more hardy or more of prowess. But he asked King Arthur if he would give him leave to rid and ride after Balin, and to revenge the despite that he had done. Do your best, said Arthur. I am right wroth with Balin. I would he were quit of the despite that he hath done to me and to my court. Then this Lanceor went to his hostelry to make him ready. In the meanwhile came Merlin, people King Arthur, and there was told him the adventure of the sword, and the death of the Lady of the Lake. Now shall I say you, said Merlin, the same damsel that here standeth, that brought the sword into your court. I shall tell you the cause of her coming. She was also the damsel that liveth. Say not so, said they. She hath a brother, a passionate good knight, of prowess and a full true man. And this damsel loved another knight that held her to Paramore. And this good knight her brother met with the knight that held her to Paramore, and slew him by force of his hands. When this false damsel understood this, she went to the Lady Lyle of Abingdon, and besought her of help to be avenged on her own brother. Chapter 5. How Balin was pursued by Sir Lancelot, Knight of Ireland, and how he jousted and slew him. And so this Lady Lyle of Avalon took her this sword that she brought with her, and told there should no man fall it out of the sheep, but he be one of the best knights of this realm, and he should be hard and full of prowess, and with that sword he should slay her brother. This was the cause of damsel came into this court. I know it as well as he. Would God she had not come into this court, but she came never in fellowship of worship to do good, but always great harm, and that knight that hath achieved the sword shall be destroyed by that sword, for the which will be great damage. For there liveth not a knight of more prowess than he is, and he shall do unto you, my Lord Arthur, great honor and kindness, as it is great pity that he shall not endure but a while. For of his strength and hardiness I know not to this match living. So the Knight of Ireland armed him at all points, and pressed the shield on his shoulder, and mounted on horseback, and took his spear in his hand, and rode after with great pace, as much as he horse might go. And within a little space, on a mountain, he had sight of Balin, and with loud voice he cried, Abide, knight, for ye shall abide, whether ye will or nill. In the field that is before, you shall not melt. When Balin heard the noise, he turned his horse fiercely, and said, Fair knight, what will ye with me? Will ye joust with me? Yea, said the Irish knight. Therefore come I after you. Her adventure, said Balin. It had been better to have Balin than you after him, for many a man meaneth with his enemies review, and oft to fall at himself. But what course be ye sent from? Said Balin. I am come from the court of King Arthur, said the knight of Ireland, and from hither was revenge for the decide he bid this day to King Arthur, and to his court. Well, said Balin, I see well I must have to do with you, but as me, or hinted, or to grieve King Arthur, or any of his sword, and your quarrel, this all simple, said Balin. Unto me, for the lady that is dead, give me great damage, else I would have it off, as any knight that liveth, or to slay a lady, make you ready, said the knight by Sior, and press you unto me, for that one shall abide in the field. When they took their spears and came together as much as the horses had cried, and the Irish knight smote Balin on the shield, that all night shivers off the spear, and Balin hit him through the shield, and Balin perished from his own pierced through his body at the horse's crop, and Anon turned his horse fiercely, and drew out the sword, and wist not that he had sight him, and then he saw him lie as a dead corpse. Chapter 6. How the damsel which was loved by Sior slew himself for love, and how Balin met with his brother Balin. Then he looked by him, and where of a damsel that came riding full fast as the horse might ride on a fair palfrey, and when she despised that Sior was slain, she made sorrow out to measure, and said, O Balin, 2 bodies thou hast slain, and 1 heart, and 2 hearts in 1 body, and 2 souls thou hast lost, and where therewith she took the sword from her love that lay dead, and fell to the ground in a swoon, and when she arose, she made great gall out of measure, the which sorrow grieved Balin, casting the sword, and she went unto her, for to have taken the sword out of her hand, but she held it so fast he might not take it out of her hand, unless he should have hurt her, and suddenly she set the foam out to the ground, and broke herself through the body. When Balin inside her deeds, he was passing heavy in his heart, and ashamed that so fair a damsel had destroyed herself through the love of his death. Alas, said Balin, me repentance sore for the death of this knight, for the love of this damsel, for there was much true love betwixt them both, and for sorrow might not longer before him, but turned his horse and looked toward his forest, and there he was there, by the arms of his brother Balin. And when they were met, they put up their helms and kissed together, and let were joy and pity. Then the land said, I was waiting to have met with you at this adventure. I am right glad of deliverance, of your glorious presence. For a man shall be in a castle of 4 stones that he would deliver, and that man had seen you in the court of King Arthur. And therefore I came hither into this country, for here I suppose to find you. And none the knights have been told his brother of his adventure, of the sword and to death of a lady plague, and hath him out there was a space with him. Wherefore he went his knight after me, and I appeared dead, and the death of the damsel breathed me sore. So doubted me, said Balin, but he must be that nature that God will ordain you. Truly said Balin, I am by steady that my Lord Arthur is displeased with me, for he is the most watchful knight that we have there on earth, and his love will I give, or else will I put my life in adventure. For the king reigns by thou siege at the castle Terraville, thither will we are in all haste, to prove our worship and prowess upon him. I will well send the harm that we do, and we will help each other as men ought to do. Chapter 7. How the dwarf reproved Balin for the death of Sior, and how King Arthur Cornwall found them, and made a tomb over them. How go we hence, said Balin, and we met. The meanwhile, as they talked, there came a dwarf from the city of Camelot on horseback, as much as he might, and found his dead bodies, wherefore he gave a great fall, and pulled out his hair for sorrow, and said, Which of you 2 knights have done this deed, whereby askest thou it? Said Balin, For I would bid it, said the dwarf. It was I, said Balin, that slew this knight in my defence, for hither he came to chase me, and he thought I must slay him or he me, and the damsel slew herself for his love, who forgetteth me, and for her sake I shall own all women of better love. Alas, said the dwarf, thou hast no great damage to thyself, for this knight that is here dead was one of the most valiantest men that ever lived. And trust not, Balin, before this knight will chase you through the world so they have slain you. As for that, said Balin, I do not greatly, but I am right heavy eyed to speak my Lord King Arthur. What is that of this knight? So all these talked together, came to King Cornwall rang, which hight King Mark, and when he saw these 2 dead bodies, and understood how they were dead, the 2 knights above said, Then made King great sorrow, for true love was betwixt them, and said, How that price I'll have on this earth made at home, and there will be pikes, pavilions, and songs through the whole country and at home. And the church at Atman, and both fair and rich, and then the king put them both in the earth, and put the come upon them, and wrote the names of them both in the tomb. How here laughed Sior, the king's son of Ireland, and all his other quests slain by the hands of Balin, and how his lady, all unbelief, and Paramore slew herself with her love sword for dull and sorrow. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table Mallory version, chapter 13, how Balin and the damosel met with a knife, which was likewise slain, and how the damosel left the custom of the castle. So Balin and the damosel rode into a forest and there met with a knight that had been a hunting, and the knight asked Balin, what caused you made so great sorrow? Needless not to tell you, said Balin. Now said the knight, and I were armed as ye be, I would fight with you, that should whistle me, said Balin. I am not afraid to tell you, and told him all the cause how it was. Ah, said the knight, is that all? Here I assure you, I have the faith of my body, never to depart from you while my life will last it. And so they went to the whole street, and armed them, and so rode forth to Balin. And as in they came by a error of ditch, even by a churchyard, there came the knight Garlon, invisible, and smote to this knight, there in indeed Mount Skillard, threw the body with a spear. Alas, said the knight, I am slain by the traitor knight, and rideth invisible. Alas, said Balin, it is not the first sight that he hath done me, and there the purpose and Balin buried the knight under a rich stone, and a tomb royal. And on the morn had found a little of gold, written how Sir Gawain shall revenge his father's death, King Lot, on the king of Eleanor. Anon, after this Balin and the damosel rode in the damosel once he goes to the castle, and anon as Balin came with the castle's gate, the portcullis fell down at his back, and there fell many men about to the damosel, and would have slain her when Balin saw that he was sore aggrieved, for he might not help the damosel. Then he went up into the tower, and left over walls into the ditch, and hurt him not, and anon he pulled out his sword, and would have fought him with them, and they all said nay, they would not fight with him, for they did nothing but the old husband of the castle, and pointed how their lady was sick, and had lain many years, and she might not be whole, but she had a dish of silver full of blood of a clean maid, and a king's daughter, and therefore the husband of the castle is there shall no damosel pass this way, but shall she believe of her blood is a bald silver dish, all. Well, said Balin, she shall believe as much as she may believe, but I will not lose a life of her, whilst my life lasteth. And so Balin made her to believe by her goodwill that her blood helped not the lady, and so he and she rested there all night, and had their right good cheer. And on the one they passed on their ways, and as it telleth after in the Sangreal, that Sir Percival was the sister helped that lady with her blood, or if she was dead. Chapter 14, how Balin met with that knight named Garlon at a feast, and there he slew him, set out the blood as a heel, there with the son of his host. Then they rode 3 or 4 days, and never met with adventure, and by path they lodged with a gentleman that was a rich man, and well at ease. And as they sat at their supper, Balin overheard one complain grievously by him in a chair. What is this noise? Said Balin. Forsooth, said his host, I will tell you, I was but late at jousting, and there I jousted with a knight that is brother unto King Alan, and twice smote I him down, and then he promised to quit me on my best friend, and so he wounded my son, that cannot be all till I have that night's blood, and he back away invisible. Invisible, but I know not his name. Ah, said Balin, I know that knight, his name is Garlon. He hath slain 2 knights of mine in the same manner, therefore I had liefer meet with that knight than all the gold in this realm. What besides he hath done me? Well, said his host, I shall tell you, King Alan of this knights hath made you cry in all this country a great feast, that shall be within these 20 days, and no knight may come there, but if he bring his life with him on his paramour, that night your enemy and mine you shall see that day, and I do you, said Balin, are his blood to heal your son withal. We will be forward to morn, said his host, so on the morn they rode all through towards the Lamb, and they had 15 days' journey, for they came thither, and the same day began a great feast, and so they alighted, and sat their horses, and went into the castle, but Balin's host that night, not beaten, because he had no lady. Then Balin well received and brought unto the chamber, and unarmed him, and there were brought him, rode to his pleasure, do I not, for his custom of my country, and I always set up his weapon with him, and his custom will I keep, or else I will depart as I came. And then they gave him a leave to wear his sword, and so he went unto the castle, and was set among knights of worship, and his lady before him. Soon Balin asked the knight, is there not a knight in this court whose name is Garlon? Yonder he goeth, said the knight. He with black face, he is the marvellous knight that is now living, for he destroyeth many good knights, or he goeth invisible. Ah, well, said Balin, is that he? And Balin advised him longest, I slay him here, I shall not escape. And if I leave him now, peradventure, I shall never meet with him again, after the season. And no charm he will do, and he lived. Therewith this Garlon espied that this Balin beheld him. And then he came and smote Balin on the face with the back of his hand, and said, Knight, why beholdest me so? For shame therefore ease thine eat, and do that thou came for. Thou sayest sooth, said Balin. This is not the first despite that thou hast done me, and therefore I will do what I came for. And rose up fiercely, and clave his head to the shoulders. Give me the truncheon, said Balin, said his lady, wherewith he slew a knight anon, and she gave it him. For always she bare the truncheon with her. And therewith Balin smote him through the body, and said openly, Put the truncheon, thou hast slain a good knight, and now see it in my body. And then Balin called unto him his host, saying, Now may ye fetch blood enough to kill your son withal. Mallory's Arthur, chapter 15, how Balin fought with King Alan, and how his sword brake, and how he cast a spear wherewith he smote the Dolorous stroke. Anon all the knights arose from the table for to set on Balin, and King Alan himself arose up fiercely and said, Knight, hast thou slain my brother? Thou shalt die therefore, or thou depart. Well, said Balin, do it yourself. Yes, said King Alan, there shall no man have ado with me but myself. For the love of my brother, then King Alan fastened his hand a grim weapon, and smote eagerly at the Lamb. But the Lamb put the sword betwixt his head and his throat. Therewith the sword burst in sunder, and when the Lamb was weaponless, he ran into a chamber for to seek some weapon. And so from chamber to chamber, no weapon he could find, always King Alan after him. And at the last he entered into a chamber that was marvelously well dight, and richly and well arrayed, with cloth of gold, and the richest that might be thought, and one lying therein, and thereby stood a table of clean gold, with 4 pillars of silver that there at the table, and upon the table so marked the spear strangely wrought. And when Balin saw that spear, he had it, and his hand turned him to King Alan, and smote him passingly sore with that spear, that King Alan fell down in a swoon, and there with the castle roof and walls break and fell to earth, and Balin fell down, sat that he might not stir, foot nor hand, so the most part of the castle that was fallen down, for the Dolorous stroke lay upon Alan and Balin 3 days. Chapter 16, how Balin was delivered by Merlin, he saved the knight that would have slain himself for love. Then Merlin came hither and took up Balin and gat him good horse, for he was dead, and bade him ride out of the country. I would have my damsel, said Balin. Lo, said Merlin, where she lieth dead, and King Atlas lay low. Many years sore wounded, and might never behold so Galahad. Galahy, the hot prince, he with him in quest for Sangreal, for in that place was nourished of the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ, that Joseph of Arimathea brought into this land, and there himself lay in that respect, and after the same spirit that longest smote our Lord to the heart, and King Calan was not at Joseph's kin, and that was the most wonderful man that lived in those days, and great pity was the hurt, for through that stroke turned to a great goal, and trained him in the dark Balin from Merlin, and said those words we never meet no more. So he rode forth through the air, countries and cities, and found people dead, and smiled on every side, and let no lie, cried, O Balin, thou hast caused great damage in these countries, for the Lord's stroke thou gavest unto King Calan. 3 countries are destroyed, and doubt not of your vengeance of all on thee at the last, when Balin was past those countries he was passing vain. So he rode 8 days, or he meets with adventure, and at last he came to their horse in the valley, and was aware of his hour. On every side he saw a great horse or war, tied to a tree at every side, at their night on the ground, and every morning, and he was like a man who will make it. Balin said, God save you, why be you so heavy? Tell me, I will mend it, and I have listened every thoughts, and now thou fittest me to more pain. Balin went a little from him, and looked on his horse, and heard Balin can save us. Ah, fair lady, why have you broken my promise, where thou promisest to meet me here by noon? And I make mercy that ever he gave me the sword, for what was the sword? Actually myself and pulled it out, and there with Balin searched unto him, and said to my hand, let go my hands tonight, or else I shall slay thee. I shall not leave the Balin foot, I shall promise you my dog to get you, poor lady, and he will tell me where she is. What is your name? Tonight, my name is Balin the Savage. Ah, sir, I know you well enough, you are the knight with the 2 swords, and I must have your hands living. What is your name? Said Balin. My name is Varnish of the Mount, a poor man's son, who left my powers in hardiness, a duke hath made me knight, and gave me a lance. His name is Duke and his daughter is she I love. And she me I deem, how hard is he hence, said Balin. But 6 miles, said the knight, not like me hence, and these 2 knights, so they rode more than a pace, so they came with their castle, where walled and pitched. I will into the castle, said Balin, and looked at the she be there. So he went in and searched for a chamber and found her bed, but she was not there. Then Balin was in the there was a garden under a laurel tree. He saw her lie on the green so nice, and night in her arms a basket. Housing, either other, and under the heads, grass and herbs, and Balin saw her lie so with the foulest knight that ever he saw, and she was a fair lady. And Balin went through all the chambers again, and told the knight how he found her as she had slept, and asked him so brought him to the place. There she lay fast sleeping. Chapter 17. How that knight slew his love, and the knight lying by her, and after how he slew himself with his own sword, and how Balin rode towards the castle where he lost his life. And then gone she held her so lying, for he heard sorrow about his mouth, and rose for his captive bleeding. And with the sword he smote out both their heads, and then he made sorrow out of measure, and said, O Balin, much sorrow hast thou brought unto me, for hast thou not showed me that sight I should have passed my sorrow? For she said, Balin, I did the same things that she expected thy courage that ye might see, and know her falsehood, and to cause you to love, be the love of such a lady, but I know I did not know of it as I would ye did to me. Alas, said Varnish, now is my sorrow double that I may not endure. Now I have slain my most loved in all my life. And there was suddenly he broke himself on his own sword, and so the hills, where when Balin saw that he pressed him in sword, lest folk said would say he had slain them, and so rode forth, and within 3 days he came by the cross, and thereon were letters of older men, and said, There's not a knight alone tonight towards this castle, and saw he an old 4 gentlemen coming towards him that said, Balin the Savage, now passes I bounds, come this way, therefore turn again, and it will avail thee. And he vanished away anon, and so he heard a horn blow, and had been the death of a beast. Then blast, said Balin, is blown from me, for I am apprising it, I am not dead. Anon, he saw other ladies and men knights, that welcome him with the fame, fair semblance, and they passing cheer into his sight, and led him to the castle, then was dancing in, Mr. Lesbos, and all men were good. When the chief lady of the castle said, Knight with 2 swords, you must have a due, and joust of the knight hereby that keepeth, and I for there may no man pass this way, but he must joust where he passed. It is an unhappy custom, said Balin, that a knight may not pass this way, that he joust. Yea, I shall not have a due of a little knight, said the lady. Well, said Balin, since I shall have here too. I am afraid of traveling men are all weary, and their horses too. But there my horse be weary, my heart is not weary. I would be fain there my death should be, sir, said a knight to Balin. For shield is not good. I will lend you a bigger thereof, I pray you. And so he took the shield that was in him of his own, and so rode with the island, and put him and his horse in a great boat when he came on the other side of the damsel. And she said, O nice Balin, why have you left your own shield? Alas, ye have put yourself in great danger for my poor shield. Ye should have been known, as great pity you ever was of the knight, for of thy prowess and haughtiness. Thou hast no fellow living, you repent it, said Balin, that never I came within this country, but I may not turn now again for shame. And with the venture to fall to me, be it alive or dead, I will take the venture that shall come to me. And that he was found with armor, and understood he was well armed. There was a blessing, and mounted upon his horse. How the knight had slew his love, and the knight lied like her, and after having slew himself with his own sword, and how Balin rode before the castle where he lost his life. And when Garnish beheld her so lying, for pure sorrow of his mouth, and nose burst out of bleeding, and with his sword he smote off both their heads, and they made sorrow out of measure, and said, O Balin, much sorrow hast thou brought unto me, for hadst thou not shewed me that besides I should have passed my sorrow. For sooth, said Balin, I did this intent that it should be better thy courage, that he might see and know her falsehood, and so cause you so leave love of such a lady, y'all, if I did know other, but as I would ye did to me, alas, said Garnish, and now is my sorrow double, that I may not endure that have I slain that I most loved in all my life. And there was suddenly he rode himself on his own sword into the horse, whom Balin saw that he rested in that sword, lest all would say he had slain them. And so he rode forth, and within 3 days he would say he had slain them. And so he rode forth, within 3 days he came by a cross, and thereon were letters of gold written that said, It is not for no knight alone to ride towards this castle. And saw he an old war gentleman coming toward him, that said, Balin the Savage, now passest thou down, so come this way, therefore turn again, it will avail thee. And he vanished away anon, and so he heard an horn and blow, as it had been the death of a beast, that class, said Balin, is known for me, Brian the Prize, and yet I am not dead. Anon with all he saw 100 ladies and many knights that welcomed him with their empire, and made him pass in good cheer into his side, and led him into the castle. There was dancing and mystery, and all manner of joy. Then the chief lady of the castle said, "I took the two swords he must have by two, and joust with a knight there by the Pelican Island, where there may no man pass this way, but he must joust where he passed. It is a happy custom," said Balin, "that a knight may not pass this way, but if he pass, he shall not have a do, but with one knight," said the lady. Well, said Balin, "Since I shall thereto, I am ready, but having men all off weary, and their horses too, but though my horse be weary, my heart is not weary, I will be paid. Their minds that should be. Sir, said the knight to Balin, "We think that your shield is not good, I will lend you a vigor, thereof I pray." And so he took the shield that was unknown, and left his own, and so rode into the island, and put in his horse next to him, and when he came on the other side, he met with a damosel, and she said, "Oh my God, why have you left your own shield? I'll ask thee happy for something great, and for your shield. You should have it known. It is great that you as ever was the knight. For thy vow is now as I have no fellow living. Dear Pendant," said Balin, "that I ever came within this country, that I may not turn now again for my shame, and for adventure shall fall to me, but if life or death, I will take adventure that becomes me." And then he looked off his armor and understood he was well armed, and therewith blessed him and mounted upon his horse. Chapter 18. How Balin met with his own brother Balin, and how each of them slew other unknown, till they were wounded to death. Then upon him he saw riding out of the castle a knight, and his horse trapped all red, himself in the same color, with the knight in red beheld Balin. He thought it should be his brother Balin, by cause of his two swords, but by cause he knew not his shield, he knew it was not he. And so they avenged their spears, and came and marvelously fast together, and they smote each other in the shields, but their spears and their horse were so big, they bare down horse and man, that then they lay both in a swoon. And Balin was ready similar with the fall of his horse, for he was weary to travel, and Balin was the curse that rose on the front foot, and drew his sword, and went towards Balin, and rose and went against him. But Balin smote Balin first, and he put his shield, and smote him with the shield, and tamed his helm. And Balin smote him again, having happy sword, and well nigh had his brother Balin. So they left there together, till their breaths failed. And Balin looked at the castle and saw the towers to stand full of ladies. So they went into battle again, wounded every inch of the other dolefully, and then they agreed oft times. And so we come to battle that they all placed there as they thought was blood red. And as that time there was none of them, both that they had either smitten others having great wounds, so that the least of them might have been the death of the mightiest bodies in this world. Then they went to battle like so obviously I doubt it was the fear of battle. And the leaders and they were on every side. At last Balin, the younger brother, threw him a little and laid him down, and said, "Balin, be savage. What knight art thou? Or now I found never no knight that matched me. My name is," said he, "Balin, brother unto the good knight Balin, whom then Balin beat on 4 feet and hands, and put off his helm of his brother, and I got no him by the visage. It was so full and bled. And when he awoke, he said, "Oh, Balin, my brother, thou hast slain me, and I be therefore on thy blood, thus speak of Alas," said Balin, "that ever I saw this day, that through this have I not known, for I was dying well in two swords, but I thought he had another shield, and I knew he had him another knight. Alas," said Balin, "all I think of having I could ask for you, I can shoot you off of his weapon, and I would destroy that castle or build customs that were well done," said Balin. "For I have no grace that I can since that after here and after we display a knight, I kept this island, and since I might never depart, and no more should he, brother, and he might have slain me, as he had, and escaped herself with the life." Right. So came the lady of the tower with 4 knights and 6 ladies and 60 women unto them, and there she heard how they made their moan either to other, and said, "We came both out of one tone, that is, say none, mother's belly, and so shall we lie both in one pit." So Balin prayed the lady of the gentleness for it was true service, that she should bury them both in that same place where that was done. So she granted them weeping that she be done wishing in the best manner. Now that these things were priest, having received our sacraments, and received the blessed body of our Lord Jesus Christ. Yet, said the lady shall be done, and so we sent our priest in the other ways. Now, said Balin, when we were ready to know so, and mentioned made over us, how 2 brethren slew each other, there will never good knights nor good men see our home, and they will pray for our souls. And so all the ladies and gentlewomen left the city, then anon Balin died, but Balin died not till the midnight after, and so they were both buried. And the lady that they mentioned of Balin, how he was there slain by the brother's hands, but she knew not Balin's name. Chapter 19. How Merlin buried them both in one tomb, and of Balin's sword. Whom one came Merlin, and let write Balin's name on the tomb, and left his bowl, that dear lion Balin be savage. That was the knight of the 2 swords, and who smote the glorious shrimp. Also Merlin let there a bed, and that there is no man alive therein, but he learned how to was with, did Lancelot the knight, or did that bed, before this. And anon, after Balin was dead, Merlin left his sword, and took up the pommel, and set on under pommel. So Merlin made a knight that stood before him handle that sword, and he said that he might not handle it. Then Merlin laughed. "Why laugh ye?" said the knight. "This is the cause," said Merlin. "There shall never man handle this sword but the best knight of the world, and that shall be Sir Lancelot, or else Galahad his son. And Lancelot with his sword shall slay the man that will he but best, that shall be Sir Gawain." All this he let knight on the sword. Then Merlin let make a bridge of iron and steel into the island, and it has but half of the broad, and there shall never man pass the bridge, nor have hardiness to go over. That if he were a handsome good man and a good knight without treachery or villainy, also scatter Balin's sword, Merlin left on the side of the island that Galahad had find it. Also Merlin let make by his own feet that Balin's sword, with all the stones standing upright and break from the millstones, and so flew always above water, and did many years until by adventure swam down the stream of the city of Camelot, that is the English Winchester, and that same day Galahad and the hot prince came to King Arthur, and so Galahad brought with him a scabbard and a sheath of sword that was 70 marble stones, hovering up on the water, and on the same day he received the sword as it is rehearsed in the book of Sandriel. Soon after this was done, Merlin came to King Arthur and told him the divorce stroke that Balin gave to King Milan, and how Balin and Balon fought together the marvelous battle that ever was heard of, and how they were buried both in one tomb. Alas, said King Arthur, this is the greatest city that I have heard tell of two knights, or in the world. I know not such two knights. Thus ended the tale of Balin and Balon, two brothers born in Northumberland, two knights, sepulture in labor. Book 3, Chapter 1. How King Arthur took a wife and with one of your daughters of Weary race. King of the land of Camelot, with whom he had around the table. Arthur, that the king might have been very by race. For the most part of the barons knew not that he was Sir Pendragon's the son, but as Merlin made it openly known. But yet many kings and lords held great war against him for that cause. But well, Arthur overcame them all. For the most part of the days of his life, he was ruled much by the counsel of Merlin. So it fell on that time, King Arthur said unto Merlin, my barons will let me have no rest, but needs I must take a wife, and I will take what I counsel, and by thine advice, which is well done, said Merlin, that you take a wife for a man of your bounty, and nobody so should not be without a wife. Now is there any that you love more than another? Yea, said King Arthur, I love one of your, the king's daughter, the leader of the grains of the land of Camelot, the which holdeth in his house table round, that he told he had of my father Uther, and this damsel is the most valiant and fairest lady that I know living, or yet that ever I could find. Sir, said Merlin, as we heard beauty and fairness, he is one of the fairest alive, and he loved her not so well as he do. I should find you a damsel of beauty and of goodness, I should love you and please you on your heart were not set. But there as a man's heart is set, he will be loath to return. That is truth, said King Arthur, that Merlin warned the king of the that Guinevere was not wholesome for him to take to wife, for he warned him that Lancelot should love her, and keep him again. And so he turned his name to the victors of Sangreal. But then Merlin desired of the king for to have men of him that should inquire of Guinevere. And so the king granted him, and Merlin went forth unto King Leodegrance of Camelot, and told him of the desires of the king that he would have unto his wife Guinevere, his daughter. That is to me, said King Leodegrance, the best tidings that ever I heard, that so worthy a king of prowess and goodness should my daughter. And I learned that I will give him this time, might please him, but he hath lands enow, and needeth none, that I shall send him a gift, shall please him much more, for I shall give him the table round, and which Uther Pendragon gave me, and when his whole complete there is 100 knights and 50, and as for 100 knights I have myself, but I love to be, for so many have been slain in my days, and so Leodegrance delivered his daughter Guinevere unto Merlin, and table round with 100 knights, and so Leodegrance especially with great royalty, what by water and what by land, so they came not in London. Chapter 2. How the knights of the Round Table were ordained and their sieges blessed which was legendary. When King Arthur heard of the Guinevere, and of the knights of the Table Round, then King Arthur made great joy for her coming in at her presence, and said quickly, the fair lady is passing welcome unto me, if I have loved her long, and therefore there is nothing so lief to me. And these knights of the Round Table, pleasing women of right straight riches, and will face the king like ordained for the and before nation, in the most honorable wise that could be devised. Now Merlin, said King Arthur, go down and assign me in all the lands of knights, which be of my most prowess and worship. Within short time, Merlin my bands of knights that should fulfill 20 of these knights, but no more than future time, when the Bishop of Canterbury was fetched, and he blessed the sieges with great royalty on the ocean, and there set 20 knights and other sieges. And when this was done, Merlin said, fair sirs, ye must all arise and come to King Arthur, for to do him homage, he will have the better will to maintain you. And so they arose and did their homage, when they were bound Merlin, found in every sieges the letters of gold that had all the knights' names that had sit therein. The two sieges were void, and so Merlin came to him and asked the king a gift. Asked, said the king, and I will grant it to you. Sir, I ask that you will make me knight that same thing you told me to Guinevere. I will do good will, said King Arthur, and do unto you all words that I may, for I must be reason you on my nephew as to do so. Chapter 3. A poor man riding on a lean mare desired King Arthur to make his son knight. Forthwithal there came a poor man whose important brought with him a fair young man of 18 years of age riding upon a lean mare. And the poor man asked all men that he met, where shall I find King Arthur? Yonder he is, said the knights. Wilt thou anything with him? Yea, said the poor man. Therefore I came hither. And long as he came before the king, he saluted him and said to King Arthur, if I were all knights, kings I beseech that you stay with me. Sir, it was told me that at this time of your marriage you would give any man that you would ask. I shall accept that were unreasonable. That is true, said the king. Such knights I love made, and then will I hold. So you appear not to my realm, nor mine estate. Ye say well and graciously, said the poor man. Sir, I ask nothing else, but that you will make my son here knight. It is a great thing thou askest of me, said the king. What is thy name? said the king to the poor man. Sir, my name is Arias, the pattern. Whether cometh this of thee or of thy son, said the king. Nay, sir, said Arias. This desire cometh of my son and not of me, for I shall tell you I have 15 sons, and all they will also of labor after them, and will be right glad to do labor. But this child will not labor for me, for anything that my wife or I may do, but always he will be shooting or casting darts. I am glad for to see battles, and to behold knights, and always day and night he desired for me to be made a knight. What is my name? said the king unto the young man. Sir, my name is Paul. The king beheld him fast, and saw he was passingly well visaged, and passingly well made of his ears. So said King Arthur unto Arias the cowherd, fetch all thy sons before me, that I may see their names. To the poor man, and all in shape much like the poor man that Paul was not like none of them, all in shape or in countenance, for he was much more than any of them. Now said King Arthur unto the cowherd, where is the sword that he shall be made knight withal? It is here, said Paul. Take it out of the sheath, said the king, and require me to make you a knight. Then Paul alighted off his mare and pulled out the sword, kneeling and required bothering the king, that he would make him a knight, that he might be a knight with the table round. As for a knight, I will make you, and therewith swing him in the neck with swords, and be a good knight, and so I pray to God, so he may be, and if he be of prowess and worthiness, he shall be.
Yeah?
Now, Merlin, said Arthur, say whether it is for, doth he be a good knight or no? Yea, sir, he ought to be a good knight, for he is a good man.
Am I hungry?
And a king's wife. How so, sir? Said the king. I shall tell you, said Sir Merlin. This poor man, Arya's coward, is not his father, he is nothing said to him, for King Eleanor is his father. I suppose, nay, said the coward. But shall I wife before me, said Merlin, and she shall not say nay. Anon, replied the special, which was at their housewife, and there she answered Merlin all me, and then she called the king and Merlin, and when she was made, and went another time, and there met with her a Sir Knight, and hath not foreseen, and my maidenhead, and after that time he begat my son four, and he took away from me by the great hound that I had not time with me, and said that he would keep the great hound for my love. Ah, said the coward, I will not this, but I may believe it well, for he had never no taxes of me, sir, said Thor unto Merlin. Dishonor not my mother, sir, said Merlin. It is more for your words than earth, for your father is of the man, and a king, and he might well have managed you, and your mother for you were begotten or ever she was wedded, that is true, said the wife. It is less grief unto me, said the coward. Coward, called a coward. King Arthur, chapter 4? Book 3, chapter 4. How Sir Tor was emperor son of King Pellinore, and how Gawain was made knight. So on the morn King Pellinore came to the court of King Arthur, which had great value of him, and called him a Tor, how he was his son, and how he had made him knight, at the request of coward. When Pellinore beheld Tor, he was pleased him much, so the king made Gawain knight, but Tor was the first he made at the feast. What is the cause? Said King Arthur, that there be two places avoiding the sieges. Sir, said Merlin, there shall no man sit in those places, but they that shall be of most worship. But in the siege Pellinorius, there shall no man sit therein but one, and if there be any so hardy to do that, he shall be destroyed, and he that shall sit there shall have no fellow. And therewith Merlin took King Pellinore by the hand, and in the one hand next the two sieges, and the siege Pellinorius, he said in an open audience, this is your place, and that's ye all worthy to sit therein, of any that is here. Thereat sat Sir Gawain, and great envy, and had told Gaheris, his brother younger knight, his place of great worship, for which grievous me sore, for he slew our father King Lot. Therefore I will slay him, said Gawain, with the sword, and I will send to thee that is passing pretense. He shall not so, said Gaheris, at this time, for at this time I am but a squire, and when I am made knight, I will be moved, avenged on him, and therefore, brother, it is best he suffer till another time, that we may have him out of the court. As when he did so, we should trouble this high peace. I will well, said Gawain, as ye will. Chapter 5. How at peace of the wedding of King Arthur to Queen Guinevere, a white hart came into the hall, and the 30 pounds, and about how a ratchet pinched the hart which was taken away. Then the high priest made ready, and the king was wedded at Camelot unto Dame Guinevere, in the church of St. Stephen's, with great solemnity, and as every man was set after his degree, Merlin went to all the knights of the round table, and bade them sit still, and none of them remove, for ye shall see a strange and marvelous adventure. Right so as they sat, there came running a white hart into the hall, and a white ratchet placed him, and 30 couple of black parting hounds came after with a great cry, and the hart once out to the table, and as he went by other boards, the white ratchet bit him out of the back, and all about the piece, but through the hart left a great leap, and overthrew the knight that sat at the board side, and therewith the knight arose and took up the ratchet, and so went forth out of the hall, and took his horse and rode his way with the ratchet. Right so anon came in a lady on white palfrey, and cried aloud to King Arthur, Sir, suffer me not to have this sight, for the ratchet was mine, for the knight led away. I may not do therewith, said the king. With this there came a knight riding all armed on a great horse, and took a lady away with him with horse, and at her she cried and made him great dole. When she was gone, the king was glad. For she made such a noise. Nay, said Merlin, he may not leave these adventures so lightly, for these adventures must be propagated, or else it would be disworship to you and to your beast. I will, said the king, let all be done by your advice. Then said Merlin, let call Sir Gawain, for he must bring again the white hart. Also, sir, he must let call Sir Tor, for he must bring again the ratchet and the knight, or else slay him. Also, let call King Pellinore, for he must bring again the lady and the knights, or else slay him. And these 3 knights shall do marvelous adventures, for they come again, and were they called all 3 as in reverse of 4, and each of them took his charge, and armed them surely. But Sir Gawain had the first request, and therefore he will begin at him. Chapter 6. How Sir Gawain rode forward to fetch again the hart, and how the two brethren fought each other against other for the hart. Sir Gawain rode more than a pace, and Gaheris his brother that rode with them instead of a squire to do him service. So as they rode, they saw 2 knights who fight on horseback, passing swords. So Sir Gawain and his brother were with them, and asked them for what cause they fought so. The one knight answered and said, We fight for a simple matter, for we two be 2 brethren born and begotten of one man and of one woman. Alas, said Sir Gawain, why do ye so, sir? Said the elder. The king went out his way this day, and many hounds chased him, and a white ratchet was always next him. And we understood it was an adventure made for the high priest of King Arthur, and therefore I would have gone after to have upon me worship, and your me younger brother said he would go after the hart, for he had better knights than I, and for the cause we fell at debate, and so we thought to prove which of us was better knight. This is a simple cause, and seeing Sir Gawain come well to me, and ye should debate with them, and not brother with brother. Therefore, let if you will do by my counsel, I will have ado with you, that is, ye shall yield you unto me, and if you go unto King Arthur, and ye will lead unto his race. Sir, knights, said the 2 brethren, we are forgotten, and much blood have we lost through our willfulness, and therefore we would be loath to have ado of you, and do as I have will have you. Said Sir Gawain, we will agree to fulfill your will, but by whom shall we say that we be to consent? Ye must say, by the knights had followed the quest of the hart that was white. Now what was it your name? Said Gawain. Storehouse of the forest, said the elder. And my name is, said the younger, Bride of the forest. And so they departed and went to the king's court, and Sir Gawain on his quest. And Wayne followed up on the crowd of hounds even for him. There was a great river and the heart swarmed over. And as Sir Wayne followed after stood a knight over the other side and said, Sir Knight, come not over after the start, but if thou wilt couch with me, I will not fail as for that, Sir Wayne, but all the quest that I have him. And so made his horses come over the water, and anon they get their spears and ran together for water. But Sir Gawain smote him off his horse, and he turned his horse and made him him. Nay, said the knight, but so, though thou wouldst have ventured me on horseback, I pray thee, thou is knight, I'll end up with him at the end of swords. One is Gawain, said Sir Gawain, and all of him on the highway. But other, and with either best station was going together, but Sir Gawain smote him so hard through the helm, that he went to the plains, the knight fell on death. The Harris, that was a mighty stroke of a knight. Chapter 7. How the heart was chased into the castle, when it slain, after Gawain was slain, then Gawain, the knight the Harris, rode forward the face after one heart, and looked up at the heart, 300 greyhounds, so that they chased the heart into the castle, and the chief place on the castle, and slew the heart. Sir Gawain, the Harris, followed after, right soon there came a knight out of a chamber, with a sword drawn in his hand, and slew the greyhounds, beaten beside Sir Gawain, and when he faced them with his sword out of the castle. And when he came again, he said, O my white hart, me repenteth that thou art dead, for my sovereign lady gave thee to me, and evil have I kept thee, and thy death shall be here, mocked when I live. And anon he went into the chamber, and hearkened, and came out fiercely, and he of Sir Gawain, why had he slain my hounds, said Sir Gawain, for they did but their kind, and like her I had he had walking your anger again upon me, and upon the dog beast, thou sayest truth, said the knight, I have avenged me on thy hounds, and so I will on thee or thou go. Then Sir Gawain aligned up with, and pressed the shield, and struck together mightily, and cutting their shields, and sending their helms, and brake their quivers, and the blood ran down to their feet. At the last, Sir Gawain smote the knight so hard that the earth was by mercy, and yielded him. He was up, and as he was a knight, and to save his life, but I was not to die, said Sir Gawain, for slander my hounds, I will make amends, said the knight, of my power. Sir Gawain, with no mercy had, that unlaced his helm to have straight off his head, right? So came his lady out of the chamber, and fell over, and so he stood off her head like a avenger. Alas, said that there is folly and shamefully done, that shame shall never be from you. Also you should give mercy unto them that ask mercy, for a knight without mercy is without worship. Sir Gawain was so stoned from the death of this fair lady that he wist not what he did. And he said unto the knight, Arise, I will give thee mercy. Nay, nay, said the knight, I take no course of mercy now, for thou hast slain my love and my lady that I love best, but all the good things, and he so repented it, said Sir Gawain. For I published my bones of thee, but now thou shalt go and take king arms and suffer of thine adventures, and how thou art overcome by the knight that I went into the quest of the white hart, I take good force to the knight, whether I live or I die, but so perfect that he swore to go with King Arthur, and he made him to bear one great hand before him on his horse and another behind him. What's your name? Sir Gawain. For be depart, my name is the knight Atlas-Atman, the marsh, shall be depart towards Camelot.